Okay, sick. It looks like Spotify audio is working. Mic seems to be working too. I'm gonna turn down music in my headphones a little bit. Hello, Azewiya. Welcome in. Welcome. And YouTube stream seems to be up and running, so I think we are good to go. Got it started a little early today. Not too early, but a little early. We got the Whiskers music in the background for today, since this is a new playthrough, and I don't want to just... I don't know, I kind of like just like opening the game for the first time on stream, like while I'm streaming, if that makes sense. So I have just like, what should hopefully be like 10 minutes of chill Whiskers music. Hydrate or dihydrate right off the bat. Damn. I just don't have water on me. We're literally in the opening. Here, I'm gonna go get some sink water real quick. I'll be right back. Hold on. Fortunately, I at least still have a cup, so here we go. Ah. Delicious. Fortunately, I get pretty high quality water in my area, so sink water's pretty good. Oh my god. It's Vax CD. Alright, well, with that, I should probably, for those of you who weren't watching me 3 years ago, I should probably explain what's going on right now. So, y'all could probably tell from the title of the... Wait, did I put it? I'm not sure I put it in the title. Did I put it in the title on YouTube? Yeah, I did. You can tell from the title of the video on YouTube, or the stream, the Twitch stream category, that I am tonight playing a little something called Purrfect Date, which is, given the pun in the name, kind of exactly what it sounds like. It is a dating sim where the main characters are cats. I promise there's more to it than that. There's actually a rather... I actually find this game rather fascinating, just... both from like a purely conceptual, like why would someone make this perspective, and also like the story's actually kind of gas, like hiding underneath the surface. I will have to ask you all to bear with me because the premise is so weird and the opening is a little bit jarring, but I promise there is good times to be had in this game. Now, I gotta go back and look at the original stream, of course. Yeah, so, I originally played this game, God, I think it must have been back in, like, let me take a look real quick. Back in 2018 was when I first played this game. And I made it almost all the way through the entire game. But technically speaking, I kind of fucked up the ending. And I don't think I actually saw the true ending of this game back when I originally played it. So 3 years ago, in 2022, I did a single stream of this with the intent being to actually go back through and finish the game properly this time. Unfortunately, I ended up dropping the project almost immediately. I remember the first stream I did of it just not feeling very good. Like, I just wasn't very satisfied with what was happening on stream. And just, like, kind of giving up on it. But I think a big part of the reason that that happened was because I wasn't doing any of the voices, and this is a primarily text-based game, like just very much text-focused. And so to remedy that, I will be starting from fresh. I will be starting fresh. I'll be starting from the beginning on this playthrough. And I will actually be live dubbing all of the characters. And there's a lot. There's there's at least 14 off the top of my head. Not all of those I'm necessarily gonna have to like be super thorough about coming up with today. But they do exist, so keep that in mind. Wouldn't mind that as a mainstay for the starting soon screen. I would love to do it, but I would need to come up with, I need to put together a playlist of the best like starting. I need to come, maybe I'll put together like a playlist or something for it. It's just been a lot easier for me to like just let the like game music itself, like title screen music or whatever, play on the stream starting screen. But I do like having the Whiskers stuff up here as well. So maybe I'll switch to that. Because this is music that I am personally cleared to use on my streams. However, would I have gotten clearance for that? But yeah, that could be something we could switch to. I just have to come up with a collection of them that would work well for stream starting music. And I do fear that it would get like very repetitive very quickly, just because like I gotta use the Spotify stuff, and Whiskers doesn't necessarily have like a huge wealth of music on Spotify. Like there's a solid chunk of it, but you're right, I might have to switch to YouTube Music for it. Like we don't have the SVE soundtrack on here at all. At least right now. But yeah, I mean, let me get through my opening remarks real quick, just so I don't accidentally run out of the music that I queued for this. But yeah, no, y'all are gonna very much have to bear with me on Purrfect Date. CD has seen this before, so CD knows a little. CD knows the sort of like core appeal of this game better than anybody who's seeing it for the first time, but it's a strange one, admittedly. It's a strange one that's very near and dear to my heart. It was such an odd experience the first time I played it. Way wrong series. Ooh, I did crack my neck a little bit there. But, with all that said, yeah, let me run through stream schedule real quick, and then we'll actually get started on this game. As of now, it's, looking like we'll be doing Persona on Sunday. That one I'm pretty sure about. I think we'll be able to do D&D on Monday. Yeah, there's... I believe if we do, Priest will have to join from a place that's different than usual, but we were talking about it, and I think he was going to bring some equipment to be able to make that work, so as far as I know, we're hopefully going to be able to do the D&D stream on Monday, but I'll keep y'all posted. At moment, I'm leaning towards Celeste on Wednesday and Purrfect Date on Friday, just for the next couple weeks. So I'm thinking, probably, well, this week at least we'll do that. Yeah, all I'm gonna say is I think for this week I'll do Celeste on Wednesday, the next Purrfect Date session on Friday. At moment, I'm estimating Purrfect Date will take 3 sessions to complete. That's not a guarantee, but I'm estimating that that's how long it'll take. W Place Live? Oh. Dang, that's big. I have not seen this yet, no. But that is cool, yeah. I might go take a look, a more thorough look at this at some point. Not at the moment, though, because I got stuff to do. Yeah, for sure. So yeah. To reiterate one last time, stream schedule. Persona on Sunday, most likely D&D on Monday, Celeste next Wednesday, and then another session of this game on next Friday. And then while I'm at it, there will probably be another Persona session the Sunday after. I think we'll leave it there for now, though, on stream schedule. Love how Mountain Celeste is looking. Is that on here somewhere? If it is, I don't know where. Oh, it's centered around New York. It's like a map. Oh, there's an Asgore. Someone's starting to draw an Asgore out here. Nice. Oop, I see a 21 Pilots logo. Okay, I'm getting distracted though, because I actually do need to get a move on some of this stuff. The entire world is the canvas. Okay, so yeah. I will sort of like explain like how everything is going to be structured as things go along, because I have a fair bit of experience with this game at this point, between my one mostly full playthrough and then the like partial start to a playthrough I did last time. So without further ado, I'm gonna let the song come to its end real quick, and then I will get the game booted up. But yeah, shout out to Whiskers Music. Go check that out on Spotify, or there's more of it on YouTube. But the stuff on Spotify is very easily accessible. Okay, so I'm gonna start this up, and you all will get to see the majesty that is Purrfect Date, greatest game ever created. All right. Loading screen is up. It looks like we are well on our way. I think I'm literally like the only person like streaming this game right now. I almost feel like this was brought up on this song. I was about to. I almost feel like this was brought up on the original stream. This song sounds. It reminds me a lot of Doki Doki Literature Club, like a lot. But yeah, this is Purrfect Date. It gets weirder. It will get weirder. You can't be saying for real. You gotta be saying for real. Oh, I have coffee. Delicious. But yes, welcome to Purrfect Date, y'all. Yeah, so first thing to note, at the very least, this song is so Doki Doki coded. In a good way. I like this song. I think it's a good one. But without further ado, I think I'll just go ahead and get the game started, and I can slowly sort of like start elaborating on. Ooh, okay. So if you take a look, I still have my old save data in here. Here, what if we go? Let's just go new game. Overwrite, yes. Overwrite your current playthrough, yes. So that was as far as we got last time. All right, so take a look. See, we are given a few different options, and we will be able to pick names. And yeah, we got a few different looks, and you get to pick the name as well. So I will. I'll put names up to. This isn't. all will be revealed in time. But I'm gonna actually let chat choose names for this game. I'm not gonna go with like my own name or like a Suni Suzuki kind of type thing. Though if you guys want, I'll use Suni for one of these. But yes, so I guess first and foremost, anyone that's here, it might have been Suni last playthrough, I don't know. That sounds like something we'd do. Yeah, no, first and foremost, we can pick any of these characters. So anybody in chat, feel free to vote 1 through 6. I'm gonna go like row-wise, so this is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. So feel free to vote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if y'all have any suggestions for names, go ahead and put them in chat. 1, I remember that's what we did the first time. This is kind of the default one, and if you look at the thumbnail on YouTube, this is the guy that shows up in the YouTube thumbnail. I'm fine just sticking with 1 for the first, for our character, unless anybody else would like to input. Oh. While I'm on the subject, I should mention, I'm continuing my horrible track record of playing heavy voice acting games the night after a concert. I don't know how much you all can tell, but my voice is not at full strength. It's a bit scratchy. So we're doing this shit all over again. Sunny Tuzuki? Fuck it. I'm not seeing any other... oh, we're out of characters. Son of a... oh, rats. I was gonna try and use like an actual 2 character, but it's not gonna let me. We do like Tuzuki? We're still sunnier. Okay, there we go. Soonier. All right, we got it. Except, I exit the fucking game. Autosave notification. This game supports an autosave. Please don't turn off your game while it is saving. I'm an angel and I accept. I'm a devil and I reject. I don't think it matters. That's just how the game works. All right, so I gotta pick a voice for this guy, Soonier, so to speak. He's kind of got a look about how about we do something like, God, it's gonna be, the voices are gonna be rough on this one. I'm not gonna lie, the voices are gonna be rough. I'm not sure how long we've been sailing, but it feels like forever. I'm not feeling too well now, so it's a huge relief to hear the deck lad shout. Alright, I'll go with that for the voice. Island approach. Make yourself ready. I'm finally here. When I applied last month, I was just another broke-ass college student living off baked beans, and I didn't really think I had a chance of being accepted to be part of the prestigious Cat Island research team. Yet here it is. Little black dot in the distance, growing bigger by the second, is the infamous Cat Island, the place I will go home for the next few months. My heart momentarily skips a beat. What if there's been a mistake? What if they accepted someone else's application and accidentally sent the offer to me? I rummage about in my bag until I find the papers. DPRI, DP Corporation. Dear Studio, we are pleased to be able to offer you the position of research assistant to Professor Parker at our research facility on Cat Island. The position will be for an initial period of 8 weeks. Your contract will be sent separately. We look forward to working with you. Yours sincerely, Professor Parker. Oh, see you later, Amy. No mistake. That's my name right there in the top left-hand corner. Sunio. And there's his name at the bottom, the genius behind this whole operation. Professor Popper, science genius and my new boss. I look up from my papers to see dry land rapidly approaching before us. It seems to be surrounded by a huge barrier of impenetrable black rocks. As we get closer, we're not slowing down, and I begin to worry that we're going to crash into them. Then, at the very last moment, we take a sharp turn to the left, and suddenly, we're sailing smoothly towards a jetty through an opening into the rocks. I blow out the breath I've been holding and break into a smile. Nicely done, Skipper! The ferryman comes out behind the steering wheel, ignoring my attempts at camaraderie, and shouts rather brusquely. Ooh, is this the same person from before? I can't remember if... Are these two separate characters? Let's see, hold on. Because we had another guy just shortly ago. I can't remember if these are the same people. I feel like they were slightly different. No, they're very different. Okay, yeah, no, this is an entirely different character. This is an entirely different character. Okay, cool. Let's go super gruff on this guy. Take all your belongings. We won't be back for days, so don't leave nothing you'll need. Thank you. I smile weakly at the ferryman and his son and pick up my bags, ready to disembark. We glide seamlessly up the wooden jetty, as Son leaps ashore to tie us off. He's greeted by a bulky man in uniform, who I take to be a security officer of some kind. Oh god. Joe. Sir, caught your mouse? And then he laughs loudly, as if he said the funniest thing he's ever heard. It's very disconcerting. The security guard remains surly and then turns his attention to me. Let's be having you then. He holds out his large hand, which I assume is an offer to help me off the boat, but as I reach out to take it, he snatches it away, throwing me off balance so that I almost fall over the side. What a great start. ID card. Oh, I see, of course. I reach into my back pocket and hand over the laminated card I was given on the mainland. It's gonna take me a minute to figure out the security guard's voice. Can we change our birthday? Nope, it's just January 1st, 2017. No, wait, date issued. Okay. I'm not reading things properly. Our ID card was issued on the 1st. Bro is not 8. Yeah, no, that's on me. That's on me. That's my mistake. He barely looks at it before striding off, grunting over his shoulder. This way. This way. I follow him down a dirt track path, and get my first proper view of the island. It's beautiful, lush and green, and I'm already under its spell. After no more than a couple minutes of trekking, we're in base camp, which consists of an assortment of tents and huts. Among them are two more solid-looking structures, one larger and one smaller. I presume these are the labs. The whole camp is moderate but functional. It reminds me of an army outpost. I'm struck by the lack of people. In fact, there's no one around apart from an older woman sitting outside peeling a pile of potatoes. I smile and give her a little nod, but she just stares back at me. I try not to get paranoid. Here. He stopped at the largest of the tents, indicating that I should go inside. I feel rude just walking in, so I make my presence known first. Hello? A firm but friendly voice calls out. Come. I walk in, and there he is, hunched over some documents. The great Professor Popper. Sir, it's an honor to meet you. Yes, you must be Sonia. Come on in, my dear. Glad to have you on board. Good journey? Well, long. Yes, indeed. We're rather tucked away here. Let me offer you some refreshments. Water, coffee, something stronger perhaps, whiskey? What do y'all think? No need to refuse. I don't think there's any need to refuse his kindness, so, 3. Fuck it. It'd be rude to let you drink whiskey on your own. Well, if you're having one, it'd be rude to let you drink whiskey on your own.
And jolly good. I can tell you and I are going to get along famously.
I think I switched his voice there. Alright. As usual, give me some time on the voices. It might take me a minute. He takes a swig from the bottle and passes it to me. I try not to show my self-consciousness and surreptitiously wipe the neck of my sleeve before taking a modest sip.
It'll take a while to find your way around and discover how it all works, so for today, I thought I would just get you kitted out and maybe introduce you to some of the locals. The cats, that is. I believe you've already met most of the human locals.
Oh, I've only met the ferryman and the security guard who brought me here.
Yes, that's about it.
And the lady outside?
Ah, Miss Marigold. Her and her husband are the caretakers. Wonderful couple, the Marigolds. You'll meet them before too long. We're a tidy little family here, Sunia, and I'm sure you'll fit in nicely.
Thank you, sir. I hope so.
Okay, so first things first, this is your basic kit.
He begins going through a pile of things on his desk, explaining each one of them in turn, and I accidentally pressed a button.
This is your backpack. You can put everything in it. We're going to be going on plenty of field trips, so it will be very useful. As will your own water bottle, some disinfectant hand spray. These are heavy-duty reinforced gloves, which are essential when tagging cats out in the wild. Don't want any scratches from felines. We don't know now, do we?
I suppose not. I don't know how this voice came about, but we're gonna roll with it. I shove each item into my new backpack as he gives it to me.
Likewise, these goggles are brought along on fall field trips. This lot here,
he indicates to a small pile of what looks like laundry,
is basic uniform, lab coats, mask, stethoscope, etc. Portable first aid kit, camping knife with all tool attachments. Finally, and without a doubt most importantly, this.
He holds up something that looks a lot like a mobile phone, except it clearly isn't one.
This is your catalog.
Catalog?
Yes, the name comes from its earliest version. It was initially designed to record and store data on the cats, scan them, and log their details, but as you can see, we've come a long way since then. Now you can use it to communicate with the rest of our team. I've added everyone's contact details for you, listen to music, take photos. There's even a pen that comes with it to insert microchips into the back of the cat's necks so that we can keep track of them. It's a very valuable piece of equipment, Sudia, and I need you to protect it above all else, do you understand?
He's looking at me directly in the eye and clearly expects a response. Yes, sir. Of course, I will look after it.
Good. You'll get to know all the functions as you go along, but for now I suggest we take a stroll out and see if we can't find a few friends to introduce you to so that you can try it out.
He hands me the gadget. I feel a bit nervous taking charge of it, but also really keen to have a go. We head down to the beach, the professor explaining things as we go.
The mixture of terrain on Cat Island is quite unique. Even in such a relatively small area, you'll find forests, mountains, jungle, beaches, woodlands. All of these different geological and ecological zones in one plate. It really is most remarkable.
It certainly is. I was trying to go for something a bit sleazier on the protagonist to begin with, but it very quickly just became like a faux polite, like, southern accent. I don't know how that happened, but it's what feels comfortable, so I'll probably keep it up.
Even the lack of wildlife is in itself quite remarkable.
What do you mean, Professor?
Well, put simply, there's a type of force field that surrounds the island, disallowing anything to enter.
You mean literally anything?
Absolutely. No birds, fish, or creatures of any kind can penetrate it.
It's automatically better than the first stream. Fair enough. Forgive my lack of intelligence on this subject, but, we're here. The professor lets out a disconcertingly loud laugh.
Ah, I see what you mean. Well, there is, of course, one small break in this invisible wall, and that is where we built the jetty. But let's not get too bogged down in all this right now. What you need to know is that basically the island is shaped like a peanut.
He's picked up a nearby stick and draws a simple map in the sand. That's closer to what I was doing to begin with. I'm gonna switch back to that.
This, our end of the island, is very well known to us now. We've been researching here for many years. The other end is not so familiar to us. We've encountered difficulties that have hindered our progress in the region.
So very quickly, we get some glitch effects on screen. The game lets you know pretty early on. There's a little something going on here. What type of difficulties, Professor?
Well, we're not as sure as we'd like to be, but what I can tell you is that the environment has an adverse effect on humans, inducing nausea at the very least.
And at the worst?
Fainting, migraines, possible nerve damage.
Gosh, that is serious.
As I say, it's best to keep away, but let's not go into all that now, my dear. You've had a long day. For now, let's just say that we refer to the far end of the island as the dangerous zone with good reason. The danger zone with good reason. I must ask you not to put yourself at risk by venturing beyond this mountain range here.
He refers to the map once, drawing a line past the center and an X at the end section. And the voice changed again. Whatever.
There are wild, aggressive cats out there. I wouldn't want you getting too close to them. Unlike our lovely fellows closer to home.
He's led me to a spot where a few cats are lounging about.
What do you say we try out your catalog now, Sunia?
He stoops down and picks up one of the animals, a disgruntled-looking cat who is sleeping under the shade of a palm tree. The cat lets out a displeased mew but doesn't struggle. Its large body, billowing with orange fur, just sort of hangs in the professor's arms in lazy resignation.
Would you like to have a go with this delightful chap?
I find the on switch and somewhat timidly activate it. The gadget immediately comes to artificial life, emitting a boop 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 sound with a red pulsating eye. I'm gonna look at what I liked what I literally did right at the beginning of this. I'm gonna check what voice I did. This is throwing me off so bad. I'm close. I'm close to where it used to be. I'm close, but not quite there. I select the cat scan, and it loads instantly. There's no nope, that's too British. The professor holds the cat towards me with arms outstretched. I'm sure he said the scanning chip is implanted into the back of the neck somewhere, but it's difficult to find this one's neck amidst the thick cloud of fur. I blow to make a parting and press the catalog into his skin. It's a bit like scanning groceries in the supermarket where I used to work. I really don't think so.
That should do it.
And he plops the marmalade tom back into the shade. Sure enough, upon withdrawal, I find the cat has been successfully scanned. Meow. Floopy Boot. Name Floopy Boot. Gender male. Age 10 years 4 months. Breed red tabby Persian. Eye color red.
Amazing. Clever, isn't it? A large part of your job will be to tag and scan cats, such as Mr. Floofy Boot here. But it seems like you'll have no Floofy Butt here. But it seems you'll have no problems at all in that area. Excellent work, Sunia.
Thank you, sir. Can't wait to get started.
Well, why don't we get a bit more practice with the catalog and scan the rest of them while you're here? These five spend a lot of time together. They're like a little family, aren't you?
The professor seems to be a genuine cat lover like me. I think we're going to get on great. Okay, here goes. No help this time. The professor stepped back. The first cat I approach is very friendly, with a beautiful calico markings. It comes toward me, already purring.
Meow.
Trixie. Name Trixie. Gender female. Age 3 months. 3 years 8 months. Breed calico American shorthair. Eye color green. Next is an elegant, sleek, hairless cat sitting gracefully in the sun. She doesn't pay me much attention and allows me to scan her with minimal fuss.
Meow.
I'm kind of like trying to use the voices I think I'll use I don't know. We'll see.
Snooty Booty. Name Snooty Booty, gender female, age 11 years 1 month, breed Sphinx, eye color blue. The fourth cat I approach is a noisy one. Meow, 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 meow. McMurphy. Gender male, age 6, breed brown, crossbreed, eye color green. And finally, the one I've deliberately put off until last. He's been sulking around the edges of the activity, eyeing me suspiciously, as though he could pounce at any moment. I laugh at myself, already projecting personalities onto these animals. Hiss!
I gotta make the fucking cat noises.
Name Kibbles. Gender male, age 3 years, breed white British long hair, eye color green. Ah then, I hope you enjoyed meeting some of the locals. The professor lets out a little laugh.
And, okay, everything's getting too British. Everything is getting too British. We gotta bring it back. What is this game even about? Azeweeb, you just need to trust me. Trust. You just gotta wait. Trust. You just gotta trust me, I swear.
I have a feeling you'll get to know them quite well in time. That's probably enough for your first day, don't you think? It's quite a lot to take in.
I am suddenly exhausted and grateful to be heading back to camp. I really want to figure out this protagonist's voice. Hold on. Let me like demo some lines real quick. See if I can't bring it back to what I wanted it to be. Let me try like a vocal engine. Like I want him to be a sleaze bag. So maybe we go something like, "Hey baby, it's quite late by the time I've unpacked and settled myself." That's so much better. Yeah, okay, I've got a vocal rev now. Let's roll with that. "Hey baby, it's quite late by the time I've unpacked and settled myself, but I want to write my journal entry before I sleep. I'm surprised at how chilly it is. I've pulled my sleeping bag right up to my chin, but I still feel goosebumps. Goose pimples bloom over my arms." That's not how I've ever heard that phrase before. "Shivering, I rub them to warm myself up. It makes me smile to think that this inherent reaction to the cold is what will be keeping my new feline friends warm tonight. My eyelids close, thinking of cats and the island and the professor. The world around me drifts away as I float up into a dream." Ooh, this song. "I'm not sure quite how long I've been asleep, but I wake with a violent jolt that leaves me sitting bolt upright. It's too dark to see anything, but I hear a rustling and then a strange electronic noise, one that in my sleepy confusion I can't place right away. The catalog! Acting on instinct, I scramble to my feet and follow the noise out of the tent. I look around me and my fears are confirmed when I catch a slight, but pulsing red light, getting fainter in the direction of the forest. I snap into action, running as fast as I can, barefoot, dressed in my pajamas, running at full speed into the forest in the dark of night. I must be crazy. The words of Professor Popper are ringing in my ears.
I need you to protect it above all else.
My legs are trembling beneath me. I stop, feeling my heartbeat heavy throughout my body. Hold on, I need to bring the voice back. It's drifting a little bit. Hey, baby. I wheeze in and out, my breath billowing in front of me in white puffs. I shouldn't feel like this. Why am I so dizzy? I try to get my bearings and realize I've blundered perilously close to the danger zone. I can just make out the shapes of some large animals in front of me before my eyes close and I drop to my knees. I open my eyes. The calico cat I scanned yesterday is sitting in front of me. She drops the catalog at my feet. I don't know if you could see, but there was some vaguely readable text that appeared on screen. for a second there, and I think it said don't fight it. I'm pretty sure that text said don't fight it. I pass out. We got more voices to come up with. Hello, can you hear me?
Are you okay?
That I don't want to do that voice for that one.
What is it?
Don't be ridiculous, Kibbles. It's a human.
Oh yeah, yuck. I can smell it now. Smells like a human.
Oh, do be quiet.
Are they alive?
Of course it's alive. It's breathing, you imbecile.
Why isn't it moving? Won't you come on and give them space? Move back a bit.
Yes, stand back. Move out of my way. Let me have a proper look. I begin to come to. The Sphinx cat is standing over me as I open my eyes. We stare at each other for a moment while I try and take in what's happening.
Is this one defective?
No, that's not the voice. Is this one defective? Oh, I feel sick. I'm gonna puke. Cats watch me intently. Am I going insane? Ah, my head. What is it chattering about?
They're scared and confused. Let me talk to them. Human, are you alright?
You. I remember. You took my catalog.
Oh, but I gave it back to you. It's back in your pocket now.
I try to reach into my pocket and realize my hands are scratched to shreds.
Ow, 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 ow.
What's wrong with my hands? I try to stand. Ow, ow, ow. My feet. What happened to me?
Yeah, I guess that's all from the climbing.
I told you it wasn't ready for that. What's that? Ready for what? Its anatomical structure is far too delicate.
I tried to slow it down.
Yeah, Fluve, you trying to restrain a human who's that determined?
It was like a margay. Its anatomical structure didn't seem that delicate to me.
Alright, this is so much voice switching. This is actually so difficult. I'm only just like figuring their voices out too. I was like, what? Doing what?
You made your own way back to the beach.
Okay, but that doesn't explain. I show my bleeding hands.
Ah, you crawled, Kara.
Kara? Who's Kara? That's not my name.
It's a term of endearment.
Okay, so if it's not obvious, McMurphy's supposed to be Irish, but I actually, like, for the life of me, cannot do an Irish accent, so I'm gonna just kind of do something else, and you are gonna have to be okay with that.
It's an Irish thing.
It's inappropriate. Wait, I crawled?
You sure did.
Like a cat?
Yep.
All the way from the mountains?
Like a bleeding mountain lion. Impressive.
But why? Okay, hold on. I'm kind of losing Kibble's voice.
Because you got the sickness.
Shh! Maybe you should sit down, human. We need to have a talk. Possibly a long talk. Talk? Yeah, that's right! Since when can cats talk? Oh, for goodness sake, since the dawn of time. How else do you think we communicate?
Ah, stop slitting whiskers, Major. You know full well what the humans say. I think the revelation here, Kara, is that you can understand us.
Yes, that too. Will someone please explain what the hell is going on here? Well, we don't fully understand everything ourselves. At least, not all the details of how this works.
I think...
Hold on. How do we... I'm losing McMurphy now. I'm losing everyone! Other than Floofy Boot. Floofy Boot's an easy voice.
I think...
Goddamn. Voice acting's hard, y'all. I gotta say. And especially when you're switching between 6 voices at once.
I think being stood in a forest surrounded by a bunch of talking cats is about as much detail as anybody would want.
I agree, and more to the point, we were hoping you would be able to help us. You are the scientist, after all.
What we do know is that the clock has started ticking for you. What do you mean? Oh, well, there's no easy way to say this, Chikara. You'll be catified. I'll be what? Whether you help or not, you don't have a lot of time before...
If I may, it would seem, and we are basing this on our experience to date, that when a human manages to find themselves in what I believe you call the danger zone, they are vulnerable in ways they previously were not. That is to say...
You're screwed. You're not helping, and don't make me hiss. Well, Mountain Lion, there'll be no violence of any kind. Forgive me for being a bit panicked here.
The vulnerability to which Snooty Boot was referring to is, simply put, if you are bitten or scratched by an elder cat within the danger zone, you'll begin a process of change that ultimately results in a full feline transition.
Catified. So basically, you're telling me I'm a werecat?
I gotta do the engine rev again. Sorry, guys.
Hey, baby. I look down, and in amongst the scratches on my right hand are 2 distinct puncture marks. The reality of my situation descends on me like a cold mist.
Basically, yes.
My head is spinning. This is too much for me to take in. Take a breath now, Kara. You're not looking so good. What? Have I started to change? I feel my ears, fur. I feel my head for ears, fur. Oh my god. I feel my head for ears, fur. Everything seems to be normal. No. I just meant you're looking a bit shaky. Understandably so. I take a few deep, steady breaths and calm myself enough to say, okay, so, why, how, what? Give me some data. What have you got so far? Look, we'll answer everything we can, but the truth is, we have more questions than answers ourselves. So, you said you need my help. What exactly would that entail? Well, finding our friends would be a start. The cats on this island, they're going missing. We don't know what's happening to them, but the body count is rising, and we've hit a wall.
A wall of ignorance, maybe. Really, how many times do I have to tell you? The Muellers are to blame.
Muellers?
Now, Floofy Boot, there's no need for name-calling.
Speaking of name-calling,
I'll remind you to call me Major, madam. Look, they can't help the way they are. It's a lack of breeding, you know.
Overbreeding, if you ask me. Again? Muellers? They're the elder cats. The island originals. They can't speak the way we do, hence the derogatory term, Muellers. And how are they to blame exactly?
Well, if I knew that, there would have been no need for this elaborate kidnapping. It's hardly proving to be a roaring success, after all.
Look, Kara, all we really know is that we are no longer safe on this island. The elders live within the danger zone are hostile towards us. Not sure why, it's just always been that way, and now because cats are being taken, nowhere else is safe either. You expect the occasional mishap. We live in an undomesticated world here, after all. But lately, cats have been disappearing almost every day.
Actually, hold on, I kind of like that voice. Let me see if I can recapture that.
But lately, cats have been disappearing here almost every day. Even the last human we catified went missing. I'm sorry, what?
Let's not open old wounds, Kibbles. I forgot it immediately. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I really liked that voice. I really want to bring it back. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Here we go. But lately, cats been disappearing here almost every day. Yes, onwards and upwards. Alright, we'll try and keep it going. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Skull emoji. CD, I'd like to see you try to do 6 voices at once. It's actually so fucking hard to do. Hey, baby. Well, first things first. This werecat thing.
Catification.
Transition. Whatever. How does it work?
Time passes, then you transform into a cat. Yeah.
It's a gradual process. I forgot it already. I don't know either, Azeria. Skull emoji. Hold on. We can pull it up again. I still have it. But lately, cats have been disappearing here almost every day. It's different for everyone, but you won't just turn overnight. It's different for everyone, but you won't just turn overnight. The clock is ticking, however. The first side effect of the transition is being able to understand us. Well, some of us.
And not the others, obviously.
Not all the domestics either.
Then you have the whole heightened senses thing, the increased agility, the crazy body hair stuff. Let's not worry the human with all the details just yet.
I assume there's an antidote. I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed in that assumption. Hang on, you said there was someone else who put you... Hang on, you said there was someone else you'd put in this position.
Well, let's hope you're a better bet than they were.
I can't do it. It's so hard. I got it once. I got it literally once. Okay. I just have it up on the other screen so I can remind myself of... Unfortunately, they weren't able to discover an antidote or get our friends back.
I know where their notes are, though.
Really?
Trade.
Huh?
You help us, and I'll give you their progress reports.
Alright, hold on. This is so... Lately, cats have been disappearing almost every day. So what do you say, Kara? Will you help us? Help the kitties. God, it's so bad. But lately, cats have been disappearing almost every day. I need to record some voice memos of myself. Some sample lines. Hold on. Let's get some sample lines in my voice memos. Here we go. Alright, so for McMurphy we got, but lately, cats have been disappearing almost every day. But lately, cats have been disappearing almost every day. I'm definitely too close to my microphone. Let's back up a little bit. Here we go. Delete. Okay. But lately, cats have been disappearing almost every day. Let's see. How does it sound? Just hit him with the... Thank you for your presence, Esau. Alright, so this is Mick Murphy. Mick Murphy. Perfect. And then we'll do the hey baby. Hey baby. This is so fucking goofy. The other ones are easier. I think I'm gonna keep just those two recorded for now. Hey, baby. I just need like a... Hold on. Maybe I can like do a quick mute of... Do I have this hotline? I don't have the mute hotline set up right now. Control M? No, okay. Not much of a choice, really, is it? Afraid not. Okay, fine. So, where do I start? Is there anything you can tell me that will help me track down your missing friends? Well, no one isn't a sense. Start with the Muellers. And I'll eat my hat if it doesn't end there, too. Don't mind him. He's set in his ways. We have every reason to believe the abductions take place in your part of the island. And let me listen to the voice memo. This is why I recorded it. Yes, no one near the danger zone or the elders. Well, that doesn't make much sense. But I suppose nothing around this place does. My catalog starts beeping. Oh, my alarm. I have to get to work. You run along now. We don't want you arousing suspicion with your people. You can meet with us later.
I'll make sure those reports are in your den before this evening.
Thanks, Gara. You're 1 in a million.
I imagine the odds are far greater than that, given your new health status.
Go! And thanks from all of us. We'll get there eventually, I promise. I got 3 streams to figure these fucking voices out. After a rather painful journey, I'm very grateful to finally limp into camp. I've just enough time to get myself tidied up for work, and I'm about to peel off my filthy pajamas when I hear my catalog beeping. I have a message, but I can't tell who it's from. It's not from any of the contacts that Professor Popper programmed into it. In fact, there's no contact information at all.
Are you sure you try?
I'll do my narration voice for the messages, I guess.
Are you sure it is wise to trust everyone? Anyone?
What on earth does that mean? Who is this?
There's a lot you don't know. Think carefully about who you confide in.
Before I can think of a reply, the messages are gone and my catalog has no record of them. I don't have enough time to think about this right now. I need to get ready. As soon as I'm presentable, I head over to the lab. I'm 10 minutes late. Doesn't give a good impression on my first morning.
Ah, Sunia. Good to see you. I was beginning to worry. Did you oversleep on your first day?
I'm terribly sorry, sir. With the traveling and all the excitement of yesterday. I take punctuality very seriously. He cuts across my apology.
Not to worry, it's perfectly understandable. You'll find I'm quite relaxed about most things. As long as you get the work done, I don't mind what hours you keep.
Thank you, sir.
So, shall we get started? My goodness, what on earth happened to you?
He's looking at the scratches all over my hands. Oh, I fell and tried to save myself by grabbing onto a bush. This voice is a little off again. Hey, baby. Oh, I fell and tried to save myself by grabbing onto a bush.
I'm afraid I led you astray last night. Not everyone can take a double mart. How's the head this morning?
I decide it's easier to play along. A little fuzzy, but it won't affect my work, sir. I really oughtn't drink spirits on an empty stomach.
We had to get those hands sorted out, though. They look pretty nasty to me.
He goes to the tall medical cabinet in the corner and takes out a bottle and some cotton wool. He begins cleaning and tending to my hands while he talks.
For today, I'd like you to help me with a few tasks around the lab to get the hang of things, but from tomorrow I'll let you make your own choices about how to best carve your time. Of course, you are primarily here to carry out your job as my research assistant. However, try to make your most of the time on the island. Once your work is completed, we'll be saying goodbye. This really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so don't waste it all in the lab. Naturally, I need your help around here, but I'd also like you to get your hands dirty with some field work. Make sure to spend time exploring the island. It's a beautiful place and there's lots to see. Take the time to get to know the cats. A full understanding of their behavior is crucial to our research. There's plenty to see and do, however, you must be careful not to overwork. Take regular rest and relaxation. We don't want you to burn yourself out now, do we? I'll try to get the balance right. That's the spirit. So there you are. He's done a first-class job on my wounds, and they aren't bothering me nearly as much. I spend the rest of the day with the professor, getting to know how the various pieces of equipment in the lab work, finding out where everything is, and learning some of the basic duties I'll be performing routinely. By the end of the day, I'm exhausted. I make my way to my tent. I'm about to flop down in my bed when I see a package poking out from underneath it. It's the report that Kibbles promised to deliver. The cats were right. The previous person barely made a start on producing an antidote. I'm gutted and worried. What if I can't do any better? I just turn into a cat? I decide that's not an option and resolve to get going on my own research into it tomorrow. My instincts tell me the cats will be a good starting point. I have a feeling they know a lot more than they're prepared to tell me. Hey baby, I need to gain their trust and see if I can't get them to open up a bit. I'm sure I'll make more progress if I focus on one at a time. I'm optimistic that one-to-one sharing will prove fruitful. It's a small glimmer of hope. Tonight, I'm not fit for anything. I can barely even write in my journal before I fall asleep. The first morning of waking up on the island. I'm so excited to discover what the day will bring. Should I jump straight into lab research? Or maybe it would be wise to start investigating a way to help these cats and find a cure for myself. Perhaps a good starting point would be to get to know the cats a little better on a one-on-one basis. Soon you're punctuating almost everything else with "Hey babe." I can't keep the voice going if I don't do that. It doesn't work. I actually, it just starts to drift too much. Alright, y'all, so now we actually, okay, so take a look. We are actually going to get into how this shit works now. So you'll notice on the right, we have an antidote, 0%. That gauge will fill up as we do tasks throughout the island. And we'll have basically 4 different options for what to do in a single day. We've got rest, romance, research, recon. Ideally, we fill out all of those bars before we, I think the goal is to get them all to the top around the same time. But since we have more romance stuff we need to do, I think we can start with that. So now we get to the cat dating part. Naturally, like, what else would you do in this fuck-ass game? And you'll notice that we only have 2 options to start. We have Snooty Boot or McMurphy. And you'll also notice this little question mark thing down here. That will become important, just not right now. So, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we do a little bit of a something I like to call confidant roulette, baby. That's right. I'm gonna have y'all pick a 1 or a 2. And then I'm gonna tell you which cat we're gonna romance. So I have the numbers in my head. Y'all can go ahead and pick 1 or 2. Dude. Azuia, are you still around? Do you want to weigh in on this? I'm putting that in quotes. 1 or 2. We're doing a confidant roulette with cats. My answer is fuck you.
Alright, we'll go with CDs then. Snooty Boot it is. I'd like to change my answer to Ase Weeums. Come on, guys. Are you not entertained? Is this game not peak fiction? Oh boy. Hey baby, I'm splayed out like a starfish on the beach in my bathing clothes. It's a swelteringly hot day. I find it hard to concentrate on my work, so here I am. I let the cool sea wash over my feet and legs as I lay back onto the sand. I hear a long, loud sigh coming from somewhere nearby, and I sit up to see where it came from. Snooty Booty, in response, under the shade of a palm tree, is looking about her with a concerned expression, one that I've never really seen a cat make before. I go over to her and see if I can help with something. You okay, Snooty Booty? She lets out another long, wistful sigh. To be quite frank with you, human, no, I'm not okay. I cannot expose this delicate skin of mine to the sun, but there is something I need to retrieve from further down the beach. It is quite the predicament. Oh, right. Want me to fetch it for you? Oh, would you really be so kind, human? I would be very grateful. Sure, it's no problem. We can't have you putting that delicate skin of yours at risk, can we? The voice is drifting. Like, I let it go like 2 lines without saying, hey, baby, and the voice starts going off the rails. Hey, baby. Snooty Booty looks grave. Indeed not. Skincare must come above all else, don't you know? One must never expose one's skin to the elements, human. It really is quite aging. One must also never get stressed if one wishes to retain one's youthful aura, which is rather difficult on this frightful island. Hey, baby. I know, believe me. I'm just gonna work them into the lines at this point. How do you know? Are you stressed? Oh no, that would upset me terribly. Hey, baby, that's sweet of you. Okay, this is it. Come on, y'all just play along. Come on. Why does it work for the dating scenes? I hate this. Guys, just play along. I promise. Trust. This game is peak fiction. Of course, you really are a precious thing. I do so hope you are finding your time here pleasant. Hey, baby, don't worry about me, Snooty Booty. I'm fine. Now, what was it you'd like me to get for you? Well, before I tell you, I must ask that you don't inform the others of the whereabouts of this particular item. It is very dear to me, you see, and one of the few luxuries I have all to myself. Hey, baby, that's no problem. I can be discreet when I need to be. I do hope so, human. You see, along the beach just south of here, there is a tree which bears the ripest of coconuts all year round. It is quite splendid. The coconuts are always so sweet and creamy. Snooty Booty looks as if she's lost in a wonderful dream. Hey, baby, sounds, lovely? It is. I like to drink coconut water as often as I can, as it is so good for the skin and waistline. But the less civilized denizens of the island keep knocking the coconuts down before they're fully matured. Fortunately, no one else seems to have discovered this particular tree yet. Hey, baby, I'll try and find some coconuts for you. I'll be back soon. You have my thanks, human. I've been walking for a lot longer than Snooty Booty led me to believe. I'm not sure if this is even the right tree. They all look the same to me. Although this one does seem to have more coconuts than the other. I decided to take a chance and bundle up as many as I can carry in my arms and haul them back to her ladyship. Fucking shit, man. By the time I get back to Snooty Booty, I'm faint with the exertion, not to mention walking so far in the sun. I fall to my knees, panting in front of her. Hey, baby, here you go. She eyes the pie with distinct air of disapproval. I only needed one coconut, human. Oh. These are far too many. Well, I do apologize, madame. Tell me you didn't plunder the tree. No, there were plenty on the ground already, so... Well, that's a small mercy. At least you didn't hack them down. Hey, baby, hack them down with what? Well, your hands are rather large and leathery. Snooty booty, I do not use my hands for deforestation. Well, I'm sure you did your very best, although I really don't know what I'm going to do with so many coconuts. You're welcome, I'm sure. This is so fucking goofy. I can't... I am remembering why I was so reluctant to voice act this. I mean, to be fair, I hadn't really done a ton of voice acting on the channel before, even just like dubbing these things. But like, I do remember why I was reluctant to dub these. I look down at the pile of coconuts and it strikes me properly for the first time how strange it is that there are no creatures on the island to plunder them. What do you think? Hey baby, what do you think it is, Snoots, that keeps the wildlife away from the island? Do you mean the magnetic barrier? Magnetic barrier? Oh, do keep up, human. I thought you were meant to be a scientist. I realize you must be referring to the force field that surrounds the island. And now, be a dear and crack one open for me. With my enormous hands? Well, you could try, I suppose. I push down the irritation that is slowly rising in me and smile politely. On second thought, I'll be right back with the screwdriver. Oh, what? Snooty Booty looks horrified. It's a sharp metal tool that bores into things. What on earth do you need one of those for? But I can make a hole to get the water out of the coconut. How else would you propose I do it? Well, look around you, dear. Look at nature's bounties. What about that? Snooty gestures with a limp paw at a shard of rock nearby. Snoots, how do you usually get the waters out of the coconut when there isn't a human around? Well, the exuberant Kibble simply loves to break things. Had you not noticed? It's one of the few reasons I tolerate him, don't you know? Far better than one of your screwdrivers, don't you think? I reach over and pick up the rock. It does look like it could actually do the job. Okay then, let's give it a try. Here goes. Holding the coconut in a palm leaf, I gently tap the shell a few times with the stone before finally whacking it. Cracks open surprisingly easy, and the water drains into the leaf. There now. See how nature provides, human? Yeah. Again, you're welcome. Quite. Snooty Booty stretches her neck, and then up her body towards the leaf. She sticks her tongue out as far as it can go before raising her big eyes to me. I can't quite seem to... Maybe you should get up. No, we have to do these fucking dates successfully. Can't even pick the troll options in this game, son of a bitch. I let it struggle for a moment or two before I begin to feel a little bit like a child pulling the wings off a fly. Strange simile. She can't help the way she is. Hey baby, you seem to be struggling a little. Well, you've placed my libation slightly out of my reach. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like me to help? Bring it a little closer, perhaps? Well, of course I would, human. Are you being deliberately obtuse? I would very much like to help you, Snoots, but you make it rather difficult. How? I don't understand. I've been perfectly clear in my instruction. You see, I'm under a spell. It's a very powerful one, which prevents me from following any instructions unless accompanied by some magic words. I swear to God, this is the most suave iteration of Suni we've ever had. It's just, I just drop "Hey baby" every other fucking line. That was the secret all along. Oh, would you care to enlighten me? Hey baby, it would go something like this. Please, human, would you mind passing me my libation? Thank you very much. There's a pause during which I'm not sure what Snooty Booty is thinking. Suddenly, the Sphinx erupts into peals of laughter. I seem to have forgotten my manners. Please do be so kind, human. I would be much obliged. Oh, go on then. They're both so fucking British now. I can't help it. Everything is moving towards a British singularity. Ah! I notice the leaf close at her, and she delicately laps at it. I truly am indebted. Many thanks. That looks delicious. Mm-hmm. Snooty agrees without taking a break. You know, baby, searching for those coconuts was thirsty work. I'm sure it was. She's still lapping at the water. Oh my. Throat's a bit scratchy, especially in this heat. Snooty Booty finally comes up for air. Why, that's the beauty of the coconut, you see. So hydrating, and most palatable too. You really ought to try it sometime. I look down at the now dry palm leaf. Yes, that's a good idea, Boots. And the very best thing after drinking coconut water is to curl up and have a nap, you know. Beauty sleep is most important. Is that so? Indeed, human. I suppose you have other things to do now? Well... Snooty Booty yawns and closes her eyes. I suppose so. Sweet dreams, princess. She snores softly in reply. I started switching into the narrator voice for the non-spoken lines. God, that was longer. That scene was longer than I expected. Let's do a bit of research. We'll do one of each of these just to start so y'all see how this works. So if you'll see, we have all of these research tasks, but only these 3 are going to be available for us at the moment. And the reason for that will become readily apparent. Not immediately, but not too far out either. Let's start with 16. Today I'm off on a field trip of sorts with the professor. I can't wait to see what he's planning to show me. Hey, baby. Professor Popper told me to be ready early and dressed for hiking, as we're doing field work this morning. I'm not sure I have anything that would pass for hiking gear, to be honest. Some sturdy shoes would be good. Oh well, lab coat and train as it is then, as usual. A message from the professor lights up my catalogue.
Set to go. I'm waiting outside my tent. Ah, Sunia, are you ready for our field work today?
Yes, of course. Professor, may I ask where we're going?
Somewhere I think you'll find very interesting.
The professor hands me a backpack.
Here, take this bag.
It's very full, but surprisingly light. Papa sets off at a brisk pace, calling back to me over his shoulder.
This way.
I run to catch him up, whatever that. What the fuck? Did I read that right? Anyways. After some serious walking, with me struggling to keep up, the professor stops abruptly and listens.
You hear that?
There's a distant sound of bubbling water.
We're almost there.
Secretly, I'm relieved, as I don't think I could go much further.
Just a little climbing.
Climbing? I hide my dismay. Where does he get his energy from?
It's just at the top there. It's not as difficult to climb as it looks.
We're in front of an almost vertical rock face.
Just copy me.
He clambers up expertly. I manage to find a spot that will support my foot and start the climb. I make little progress before slipping and falling flat on my bum. I try again. This time I take it slow. Again, I fall. What happened to the benefits of catification the others keep going on about? The professor notices I'm having trouble and holds out a hand for me. I manage to climb up, just enough to take hold of him, and he lifts me the rest of the way. The strength of impressive. Curious, even.
Not a fan of climbing, eh?
Can't say I've done much of it, Professor.
Come along, then. I can get you there.
He pretty much pulls me all the way up to the top, and then leads me to the entrance of a small cave. The sound of running water is very loud now. I instantly see why. A natural spring has cut its way through the rock and created a beautiful cascade of sparkling clear water. It looks delicious. I kneel down without thinking and begin to drink. Tastes amazing.
As I come up for breath, I see the professor looking at me with suspicion. You should know better. It is never wise under any circumstances to ingest something that is unproven. But here, on this island, it would be prudent to exercise more caution than usual. I feel embarrassed at my lack of consideration. Yes, of course, sir. I wasn't thinking. I felt so thirsty and it looked so good. I do understand many have made the same error. Fortunately for you, this is tried and tested for safe consumption. It's good, don't you think? My body suddenly feels re-energized. I feel like I could climb any wall. It's incredible. I feel fantastic. What's in it? We don't know. That's why we're here. We need more samples. We've been studying this water for months now, and we still know very little about it. Check your bag. I open my bag. It's filled to the brim with empty plastic bottles. We'll need to fill all of these with water. We're going to need as much as we can carry. I do as he says. By the time all the bottles are full and back in my bag, it weighs a ton, but I feel like I can lift anything. The effect of the water is powerful. The professor has also packed his own rucksack with bottles. That should do us for now. Let's get back with these. As we make our way down the rock face and back to camp, I have no problem keeping up with the professor. I feel I could run all the way. However, as we get closer to home, I start to feel the effect wear off. My bag becomes unbearably heavy. Final limp into camp is torture. I need to rest.
So, that's another thing to note. During these research things, we'll start learning these rather curious things about the island. There's a lot of just unusual stuff that happens on the island. Yeah. We got water that turns you... We got fucking Breath of the Wild stamina water boost, I guess. Stamina boost water. And now I'll show y'all what Recon does. Once again, we've been given a limited number of options for this. I feel like another one is supposed to open up, but maybe it only opens after 4 or 10. Interviewing staff. That security guard I met when I arrived might be a good lead. Time for a bit of interrogation work. Alright, let's go for it. I've been at the beach. I've been staring at the back of his head for a long time now. Too long. Starting to feel creepy. I just don't understand it. All he does is sit in that chair by the dock, eating egg sandwiches and doing crossword puzzles. How does a man like that become the security guard for a place like this? As far as I can tell, his job consists of greeting the boat to make sure nothing unauthorized gets on or off it, picking up supply deliveries, and occasionally taking a long, lazy lap of the island to make sure everything's secure? I wonder what he knows about the research that goes on here, if anything. He doesn't seem to be too interested, regardless. I decided it's time to get to know this island bouncer, and go join him at the dock. Alright, the other thing I've noticed about this is that, with the reading, this takes a lot longer. With the, verbal, out loud reading everything, it takes a lot longer. I sit next to Zane. Me on the sand, him in that chair. He's not wearing his big coat, and the short-sleeved shirt allows me to notice for the first time how surprisingly muscular he is. I never thought of him as a security in the bodyguard sense, but now, squinting at him sideways, trying not to stare too obviously, I begin to see him in a new light. I pluck up the courage to talk. Hey, baby, how are you? You trying to start a conversation? He says this without looking up from his crossword puzzle. Oh, suppose I am, baby. I don't get to chat to humans much in my job. Research Assistant 125. He rolls the words out like he's reading them. Oh, yeah, I guess that's me. So, what does the number stand for anyhow? You don't know? He asked monotonously, eyes still glued to his crossword puzzle. No, actually, to be honest, Zane, I don't know much at all. There's a definite lack of intel sharing on this project. Which project would that be? This one? The whole research project that's going on here. Is there more than one? Depends who you ask. You, I was just asking you, really. I don't understand your job.
I don't need to. I don't care about I don't care about things I don't need to. What do you care about? Zane looks at me for the first time. You really want to talk, don't you? Well, there's not much else to do here. Besides, I'm interested in it all. I'm interested in it all, aren't you? Yeah, sorry. Besides, I'm interested in it all, aren't you? My interests consist of what's for dinner and when my next puzzle book's coming. When's it coming? You get it delivered? Comes with the mail. Tony Lazzuto sends his regards.
I'm gonna borrow canes for this guy. Just gonna steal a cane engine rev real quick. Don't worry about it, y'all. He's back to not looking at me. The mail? You mean the parcels?
And the letters, yeah.
The letters? Who would go to the trouble of sending mail all the way out here when we have email? I laugh, but Zane looks very serious.
It's safer sending mail the old-fashioned way. With emails, there's viruses, hackers, worms, cyber terrorists.
I get the feeling he's not very tech-savvy. Yeah, but anyone can open and read a letter, right?
Not if I'm around. And besides, who would suspect that something important would be in a fragrant pink envelope?
There's an awkward silence. Of course, being my usual socially inept self, I'm desperate to fill it. Need any help with that crossword? I'm pretty good. I can even do the cryptic puzzle in the Daily Inquirer. This line usually gains me a little kudos, but Zane simply ignores me. I decided to just come out and say what's on my mind. I mean, can't make things more awkward than they already are. Hey, baby, have you ever noticed anything strange going on around here? Cats behaving weirdly? Zane suddenly looks up, his eyes looking straight on mine, unwavering and hard.
No. Have you?
Well, not exactly, but he's looking at me properly for the first time since we met. Definitely captured his attention, but too nervous to follow through. I'm just being silly, baby. The lack of human company can get to me. Gives me daft ideas.
Such as?
He's still staring at me, as though he's trying to read my mind. Sometimes when I'm out tagging, I feel like they're playing games on me. Like children, hide and seek, that kind of thing.
Some of those cats may be cleverer than any of us give them credit for.
Now it's my turn to be intrigued. In what way?
They know when to stay out of the sun. You're going pink.
The moment, if there was one, is over. I decide maybe Zane isn't the best person to talk about my concerns. Feeling unwanted and slightly dejected, I decide to head back to camp. I stand up and brush the sand off me.
What's a 5-letter word for solitude?
Alone? I don't know. Alright, cool. Zane silently scribbles in his book as I leave. Alright, you'll notice now that our bar is getting a little low. I'm gonna go ahead and rest now. I'm not sure you need to rest every time, but I in the past, I let it drain down to one final one and then do a rest. So 3 on and then a rest. I decided to catch up on some rest and relaxation, like the professor keeps telling me to. So I've come down to the jetty where Zane usually sits. Today's into delivery day, and as I was hoping, he's nowhere in sight. I sit with my legs dangling over the edge and take out my sketchbook and pencils. Hey, baby. I haven't done this in ages. So peaceful. I can get lost in my own little world when I'm drawing. What I've noticed is the pitch of this voice tends to creep upwards as time goes on. So the hey baby actually, what that's really doing is just getting my pitch back down to where I want it to be. Hey baby. I tried drawing a couple of landscapes, the mountain range in the distance, the trees of the forest, but nothing is really grabbing me. Then, as I'm daydreaming, staring into the water, I notice the patterns that ripple form on the surface. They're unusual, I suppose because of the magnetic pull. The effect is beautiful. I end up sitting for over an hour just trying to capture it on my page. So yeah, we've got, like, it's not a super difficult one, but we've got a little, like, time management sim type thing, I suppose you could say. What do extras do again? I actually don't remember. Oh! These are extra little scenes. We'll do some of these as we go along. Yeah. These ones aren't strictly necessary to, like, the antidote completion, but they do exist. Alright, let's do... What I probably will do now is we'll do 1 romance, 1 research, 1 romance, 1 recon, 1 romance, 1 research, 1 something like that. Anyways. We still got a long way to go. I mean, say what you will about Purrfect Date. At least it forces you to be faithful. None of this ultimate harem master shit. McMurphy, heartbroken. You pick someone else. McMurphy will heal with time, but the game forces you to stick to your guns. Hey, baby. Snoots? Snooty booty? Snoots? I've been searching for this Sphinx for what feels like ages. For a cat that never seems to move, she's surprisingly difficult to find. I am answered eventually by an unintelligible murmur coming from the shade of a nearby tree. Of course she's sleeping. Snooty booty. I poke at her gently to try and rouse her. I have something for you, a gift as it happens. Oh, human, it's you. Whatever are you doing up and about at this time? It's midday, Boots. Snooty stares at me uncomprehendingly. I have an hour for lunch, and I came to spend it with you. But if it's not a convenient time, I can always find something else to do. Wait, you mentioned a gift? Well, yes, I suppose. I had the idea when we were drinking. Well, when you were drinking from the coconut I fetched for you the other day. I took some of the remaining coconuts over to the lab and cooked up some coconut oil. Snooty Booty opens her mouth wide. I sit awkwardly, staring at her, unsure what exactly she's doing. Well, I'm ready to break my fast, human. It's hard sometimes to know whether to laugh or spit with this spoiled feline. No, Boots, this isn't for eating. You mentioned how good coconut water is for you, so I thought you might like some coconut oil to rub on your skin. If you're moisturized and youthful. Aren't you terribly clever? I can't help but blush. Snooty Booty rarely compliments anyone, so I feel honored. You may begin. Snooty Booty lolls onto her back, exposing her plump pink tummy. Hold on, I just need to giggle a little bit. We'll go back to serious mode in a second. Suni has sunken so low that he tries to hit on himself when eternally monologuing. This is the death of Suni Suzuki. Thanks for quoting that one. CD, I just looked at that. Thanks for that. Snooty Booty lolls onto her back, exposing her plump pink tummy to me. Oh, baby, you want me to rub it in for you? Nope. Nope. That was so bad. Snooty Booty simply smiles in response. Well, a please wouldn't go amiss. Yes, well, I didn't want to make a fuss, but I would prefer it if you asked first. I sigh. There's not much point in arguing with Princess Snooty Booty. I don't think she actually means to be rude. Sometimes she just doesn't seem to understand how to talk to people as equals. I don't have the energy to deal with it today, but I make a note that at some point she and I are going to have a little chat about etiquette. Hey, baby. Nope, we're not doing it. Nope. May I rub this coconut oil into your skin? Yes, you may. I pour some of the pungent liquid into the palm of my hand and rub it together with the other. I have no idea what I'm doing, as I've never massaged anyone before, but I work along the lines of putting sun cream on a friend. Hold on, y'all. I might need to work up the strength to read this line. Deep breaths. As I touch the warm, loose skin on Snooty's primordial pouch, I'm struck by how delicate she really is, and I try to be as gentle as possible. I was not gonna do the he self voice. Is that okay? You're very skillful with your hands, human. Okay. I do so wish I had those thumb things. They seem so useful. They're quite handy, to be honest, but paws are cool too. Sooty Booty lazily inspects one of her paws. Do my paws next, will you? Sooty's skin is reacting well to the treatment and has become shiny and pliant. Hey, baby. I see the good it's doing. I'll move on to massage her paws, but I'm quite taken aback by the length of her claws. That was a weird rhyming scheme to that line. Oh my, baby. Your claws are really quite long. Don't you use a scratch post or anything? Oh, what? You know, something abrasive to file them on. Whatever for? What's part of being a cat, really? Stops them catching on things. Sooty Booty is peering at me with one judgmental eye open. Caught on what exactly? Oh, I don't know, Snoots. Don't worry about it, I'm sure it's fine. Oh no, do go on, I'm intrigued. You seem to be implying that there is a degree of neglect in my grooming. No, I most certainly am not. You are by far the most high-maintenance, highly groomed cat I've ever seen. Excellent Freudian slip. In fact, you are the perfect example of a sphinx. I'm a what sphinx? She's trying to get me to say perfect again. It's hard to keep my face straight. Absolutely perfect, Snoots. And you're an expert? Well, I wouldn't call myself that, but I have been reading up on sphinx cats, and you have all the characteristics of a pedigree. It's very sweet of you to say so. Remind me, what would those be? I hesitate for a moment, trying to remember what pause for thought listed at the top features to look for in a sphinx. It was rather a lot of info, and I want to give her the best bits. Alright, flatter her. I believe this is the play. Though I should be careful here, because if I mess this up, if I mess up even a single dialogue option, I think I locked myself out of the true ending. Like, it was one dialogue option I fucked up on the first playthrough, and it completely locked me out of the true ending. It was so bad. It was so bad. I hate to look up a fucking walkthrough for a game like this, but... What the fuck? Oh, okay. Yeah. Flatter her. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Hey, baby. Well, let's see. I have a feeling Snooty Booty would not appreciate some of the common qualities of a sphinx, including wrinkles and potbellies, so I decided to cherry pick and dress it up a bit. Sphinx cats are well known for their beauty, big eyes, and high prominent cheekbones. Snooty Booty extends her neck and widens her eyes. She also appears to suck in her cheeks, which gives her the look of someone who's not wearing their dentures. It's very disconcerting. And they have a very shapely physique. This isn't strictly true. Sphinx tend to be quite muscular, but something tells me Snooty Booty wouldn't approve of that description. She's now extended her entire body in what looks like a yoga stretch. I see. Go on. Their skin is soft, buttery. This is sort of true, because they don't have fur to soak up excess oils. Sphinx cats can become quite greasy. It is recommended that they be patted down with a cloth as part of their regular grooming. That face. That goddamn face. I'm listening. And, they're very regal. Regal, I'm not sure where that word came from, but Snooty Booty seems to enjoy it. Well, human. It seems you have a vast and accurate knowledge of my kind. I'm rather impressed with you. Same image. It is. You're so right. I blush. It's not often that she gives out compliments, but when she does, it makes you feel $1 million. Thank you, Snoots. Which prompts me to take what you were saying about my claws far more seriously. Do you think you ought to tend to them? In what way? The length. I believe you were suggesting they ought to be trimmed. I wasn't saying that, but I don't think it's such a bad idea. Perhaps I could help you with that. A manicure? What a marvelous idea. Let's say tomorrow, same time. Well, if I can get away. I feel like she's played me. You really are most kind. Thank you, human. And with those few words, my heart is a puddle at her feet. Goofy ass fucking game. My heart is a puddle at her feet. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? God damn. Go do some fucking research or something. Five. Cat collection. It's a sunny afternoon. Most of the cats are lazing on the beach. Perfect. Like shooting fish in a barrel. I double-check my supply list. Crate, treats, sedatives, snare, catnip, antiseptic cream for myself. I've got everything. I have a sick feeling in my tummy, but I ignore it the best I can. This is going to be a challenge, but I'm pleased the professor is trusting me with the more physical tasks. I walk out onto the beach, feeling like the child catcher with the what? What the fuck is the child catcher? What does that mean? I keep reminding myself that I'm doing this for the greater good, even if it makes me unpopular with the cats. I set up a crate in an unsuspecting location and keep the snare hidden behind my back. At first I stroll around trying to look as casual as possible, whistling a tune as I walk. I get close to one of the smaller cats. I start to stroke her. I want this to be as painless as possible. The cat responds well to me. She even starts to purr gently. You gonna come with me? No, hold on. Hey baby, you gonna come with me? The cat looks at me with big, wide, loving eyes. Come on then. I pick the cat up, carry her to the crate, and place it gently inside. I lock it shut, even though the cat makes no attempt to escape. Well, that went better than expected. This may be a good day after all. Emboldened by my success, I approach one of the slightly larger cats. Hey matey, shall we get in the basket? I give him a little stroke. He doesn't respond badly, although he doesn't seem particularly interested either. I put my hands on either side of his body, ready to pick him up. He doesn't look too happy about it and growls a warning at me. Hey, mister. It's gonna be okay. We're just gonna go on a little trip, alright? As I start to lift, all hell breaks loose. Yowling and hissing, he scratches my arms to ribbons. I try to get him into the basket, but he stretches out, and I can't fit him in. Oh, ow, oh no! I know when I'm defeated and I have to let him go. He scarpers off in the distance. I look down at my ravaged arms. Note to self, wear long sleeves when on caging duty. So yeah. Some of these like research ones and recon ones are more informative than others, but I think they're all fairly interesting. Alright, time for more romance. Meow. Oh. Hey, baby. Fancy seeing you here. Really? But this is my spot, human. I'm often to be found here. I let it go because I'm so excited about what I've brought. Pick a hand. I hold my fists out in front of Snooty Booty. Oh, a game. How merry. She stretches out her paw in the direction of my left hand. Ta-da! I open it to reveal a piece of core stone that I cut up in the lab. Oh, what a lovely rock you have there. It's coarse stone. I thought it could work well as a nail file. What a clever thing you are. That's not even the best bit. Look. I opened the other fist to reveal my fantastic find. Oh my, what is that thing? It's nail polish. I found it in the lab. I have no idea who it could belong to, and honestly, I don't like to think too much about it, but I figured I could borrow it for one short hour without anybody missing it. And it looks just like your color. I squint at the bottom of the bottle. It's called Desire. Oh shit. View this ban for cheap. Be gone! I didn't even notice that thing. I raised my eyebrows at the Sphinx. Oh, nail polish, you say? Show me human. She suddenly seems more interested. I thought I could try giving you a salon-style manicure, befitting a lady. Most sweet of you. Now, shall we sort the snacks and drinks first? Oh, well, I came straight from work, so I don't really... Oh, never mind. It won't take you more than a moment to fetch a coconut. And then we shall begin. I can't believe I'm actually doing her bidding. You have to hand it to her. That air of entitlement certainly gets her what she wants. I'm back quickly and out of breath. Within minutes, we settle into our session. Tell me if this feels uncomfortable, Snoots. I've never done this before, so guidance would be most helpful. It's surprisingly satisfying. I can see why other cats might engage in the process of scratching at trees and rocks. I've always thought they were hunting for termites like little scavengers. Next foot. I have finished her hind legs and am on to the final front paw. The stone really works well. Did I tell you I'd cut it in the lab? I don't believe you did. So how does this nail polish work? Is it like paint? I ignore her rudeness. Exactly. Paint it on and wait for it to dry. I've never painted someone's nails before, so this will be a new experience for both of us. Priorities. Nice. Got that mini crossword going. I open the bottle and make the first stroke. Try to keep as still as possible. I think you'll find I'm statuesque in my stillness. Your hand is less so. I know. Sorry, your nails are just so tiny. I'm trying to color within the lines. What lines? Never mind. It's a human thing, I guess. Not sure if I care for the smell of this nail polish. Really? I quite like it. Reminds me of pear drops. Of what? Oh, sorry. Not the human thing. Wow. Look, though. Your paws look fantastic. Not an image I think I needed to see. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm not sure I needed to see this. The long, sleek talons are glinting shiny red in the sunlight. Oh my, I am spectacular. She extends her claws momentarily and presses them into my arm. Not enough to puncture the skin, but if I tried to move it would hurt. For the first time, I appreciate what lethal weapons they could be. I must keep that in mind. So, come on then. Yeah, no, every time I try and do the, dating scenes, my voice gets way higher for some reason. The pitch goes way the hell up. I take out my catalog. Come on, what? Pose for the camera. Oh goodness, I hadn't realized this was going to be a photographic session also. How exciting. Well, yes, I'm going to have to remove that varnish before I go, so I thought it'd be nice that you'd have a photo. Remove it. The Sphinx cat looks appalled. Whatever for? Oh, Snoots, I'm sorry, didn't I say? I can't leave it on you permanently. It would impede the natural retraction of your claws. Then I shall leave them extended. You can't do that. Her expression darkens. I beg your pardon. I thought for a moment I heard you tell me what I can't do. Surely I was mistaken. And the answer here is to compromise, I believe. Let me go make sure. Yes, it is. No, Snoots. You heard me perfectly well. I must insist that you allow me to remove it. Insist?
forehead wrinkles with a raised eyebrow. I need to tread carefully here. Ask your permission. Baby, may I please remove the varnish now? But it simply does not make sense. Why do it in the first place? I know how much you enjoy things like this, pampering. I thought it would be fun thing for us to share. You had fun, didn't you? Well, yes, but I certainly wouldn't have, had I known you were simply doing it to taunt me. I wasn't doing it to taunt you, Boots. She seems genuinely upset. I'm sorry. There's an awkward little standoff, her eyeing the rubbing alcohol, me eyeing her claws. I rack my brains to think of a way to compromise with her. Perhaps if I tried appealing to her sense of style. I wonder if you'd like to try something. I don't know why I didn't do it in the first place, actually. I'm so forgetful sometimes. You're wittering. But just before I came to the island, there was a craze sweeping the fashion world. I can tell I've caught her attention. I read all about it in Bon Vivant magazine. Go on. It's a French thing, apparently. Sooty Boot cocks her head to the side. It's called, the Pinky Flick. Flèche Rosée. She's going for it. I feel encouraged. I'm thinking on my feet. All the celebrities are doing it. Doing what? Having their pinky nail painted while the other nails are left natural. Just one nail? She looks intrigued. Yes, it really does look so striking and a la mode. Show me. Bullseye. I go to take Snooty's paw in mine, but she snatches it away. No, show me. I pause, uncertain of what she means. Then the penny drops. She wants to paint my own pinky nail with desire. Oh, gladly. I suppose I should have expected Zulibu to attempt to groom me at some point. Here goes. I swipe some of the bright red polish off my left pinky. What do you think? Looks a la mode, right? I hold my pinky finger to the corner of my mouth coyly. Well, I suppose it does look rather fetching. I'll make a deal with you, human. I will wear my nails a la mode if you promise to keep yours painted for the rest of your stay here. It's a deal. I doubt that such a tiny amount of varnish will cause her too much harm. It will come off naturally quite soon anyway. Mine, on the other hand, is going to be more permanent. I can't wait to explain this to Professor Purrfect.
Getting in Stars and Times flashback. Not because of any of the content of what's going on right now, but because of how much I'm talking. It's what? Nah, is it really? No fucking shot. No, I did not plan this. I was even thinking it was unfortunate that I didn't stream yesterday, because if I had streamed yesterday, it would have been the exactly the 3rd year anniversary of the first ever Purrfect Date stream. So I was actually like kicking myself for not doing this yesterday, but I guess it works out in the end. Alright, let's rest. Hey, baby. I sit in the position Professor Purrfect taught me. Legs crossed, back straight, wrists resting lightly on my knees, and fingers formed into loose circles with forefinger and thumb touching gently. I close my eyes and hear a rhythmic purring, slow and steady. My fur prickles at the sea breeze, and my ears twist at the distant sound of feet on wood, and seagulls crying in another faraway place. The smell of the sea fills my nostrils. The taste of salt fills my mouth. I begin to focus on my breathing and the rhythm of my heartbeat, allowing my mind to drift. As I take a deep breath in, the tide comes creeping towards me, and as though I'm pulling it, when it's just centimeters away, flowing from my bare toes, I slowly release my outward breath to a count of 5 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
With each beat, I push the tide back into the horizon until it's almost touching the sun. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drifting now without attachment to thought, my mind free from worry and care.
Sick as. Alright, recon.
A strange message in the middle of the night. Doesn't anyone on this island sleep?
Ooh, have we gotten this song yet? This one's quite cool.
I hear my catalog beeping. I presume it's the professor. Tumble out of bed, half asleep, and fumble around looking for the device. I look at the screen, my eyes struggling to focus. The message isn't from the professor at all. There's no contact information.
Come outside.
Who is this?
Come outside.
They obviously aren't going to respond to my question. Should I do as the message tells me?
Yes.
My curiosity is roused. I have a feeling there's something important to learn from this stranger, so I throw on my clothes and crawl out of my tent. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Anyone out here? My catalog beeps again.
Walk to the edge of the forest.
I'm not going any further until you tell me who you are.
Walk to the edge of the forest.
No!
Walk to the edge of the forest. Walk to the edge of the forest. Walk to the edge of the forest.
Stop it! By now, I realize I've walked to the edge of the forest. At the edge of the forest, I see something on the ground. As I get closer, it becomes clear that it's a small posy of flowers. I gingerly pick them up and notice that several of the flower heads are missing. My catalog beeps again. Follow the petals. And that's when I see the trail of little orange petals, the same color as the bouquet I'm holding. Well, I've come this far, no turning back now. I begin to walk. I'm nervous, so I call out. Hello? No answer. Louder this time. Hello?
Oh god, Floofy.
Hello?
Hello, who's that?
Who goes there?
Major, is that you, Floofy Boot?
I really wish you wouldn't call me that, human. What on earth do you think you're playing at? Cavorting around the forest in the dead of night, causing a ruckus?
Oh, Major, you don't know how pleased I am to see you. I need your help.
And this can't wait until a civilized hour?
I'm afraid it can't. I'm not the one instigating this. I've been getting messages from an anonymous source asking me to follow them into the forest. Look, they've left this trail. Hold on.
Sorry.
Calendula maritima, marigolds, herbs of the sun. They're said to represent creativity, though some believe them to be symbols of cruelty and grief.
Your knowledge is always so impressive, but I have to say on this cage...
Let me try this one more time.
Hey, baby. Your knowledge is always so impressive, but I have to say on this occasion it's not very comforting. Floofy Boot goes striding off with a purpose.
Come along then, Sunia. Are we going to follow this trail or not?
I shuffle awkwardly behind him.
Before the sun comes up, eh?
We continue for a short while, and I notice that the petals are getting more sparse. It's becoming more difficult to see them, till eventually they seem to run out, and we find ourselves at a small clearing.
Well, it appears someone has been playing a joke on you, Sunia.
I sadly agree. It's been nothing but a wild goose chase. Seems so, Major. Sorry for dragging you into this. Let's get back to our beds before we waste any more precious news time on this fool. I turn to Floofy Boot and notice that his back is arched and his fur is puffed up, making him look even floofier than usual. Something wrong, Major?
You tell me, human. Does that pile of rocks not look suspicious to you?
Amongst myriad piles of rock piles, I notice a small, contrived-looking cairn. Floofy Boot's right. It looks far from natural. That looks to me like it's asking to be inspected, Major.
Well, get to it, Sunia. You're the one with the sums.
I begin to dismantle the small mount rock by rock. It's not until the foundation stone is removed that we find a manila envelope.
Major, look, it's a letter. Looks rather large for a letter, my dear. I think you ought to open it.
Here, or back at base? Having got you this far, I think it's only fair that I have an equal share of the spoils. Spoils? Yes, perhaps we should look at it right now, Major. As I'm speaking, I've torn into the envelope.
Well, out with it.
Looks like drawings?
What sort of drawings?
I'm not sure, but they seem quite old, antique even.
But do they have value, human?
Probably to someone. They appear to be sketches of people here on the island, but I don't recognize anyone. Why would someone lead me to these?
How do you know you were meant to find them?
Because we followed a trail and it led us here.
Actually, the trail ended a while back. This could be a mere coincidence. I hardly see the intrigue in a few old scribbles. They show no artistic flair at all.
Even so, I'm going to hang on to these and see if they prove relevant to whatever mystery is unfolding here on this island.
Floofy Boot rolls his eyes. I keep calling him Floofy Boot, but it's Floofy Butt. Like, it's just butt. I don't know why I keep saying boot. Actually, I'm gonna keep calling him Floofy Boot. Fuck everyone. Fuck the developers. I'm doing my own thing.
You really ought to focus more on the clues that matter instead of running around in the middle of the night on a wild goose chase. Let's head back before anybody discovers that you're missing.
I roll up the drawings and tuck them into my waistband. I will study them when I have more time. I think Floofy Boot is probably right, but I don't want to miss a trick.
Get some rest now, Sunia.
Finally, a sensible suggestion. I head after Floofy Boot, struggling to keep up. I really need some sleep. Oh dear. Alright. We'll do one more romance, then we'll do research recon, and then the final romance. Be a dear, would you? Snooty Boot is in the habit of holding out a limp, manicured paw for me to massage. I resignedly oblige. Oh, do you know, that reminds me, I have something for you. Something for me?
Oh, look at you with your mouth agape. Do close it, you'll embarrass us both.
I'm sorry. I just didn't expect you'd ever think of me when I'm not with you.
Ha! You do make me laugh, human.
Oh my, are you serious? Well, I'll have you know I think of you a great deal. You are my most faithful subject, don't you know? Now, if you want your gift, carry me further down the beach and I'll show you where I hid it. Cradling the hairless cat like a baby. Sorry, Hey, baby. Cradling the hairless cat like a baby, I strolled barefoot along the beach. Snooty Booty directs me with a wave of her paw every now and then. After a while, she loudly commands that I stop and put her down.
Here?
Snooty says with her regular level of enthusiasm, pointing a perfectly fouled clawed mound of sand. I buried it. I suppose you want me to dig it up then, eh, Boots?
Ha! You always know what to say to make me laugh, human. It's quite a talent, I tell you.
With a sigh, I start digging. Thankfully, she didn't bury it very deep, and after a few seconds, I find a small object wrapped in a silk scarf.
We wouldn't want sand getting into it now, would we, dear?
Snooty Booty says with a small smile. I carefully open the flimsy silk bundle and turn the contents over in my hand. It's a little black tub with a plain label stuck to it that reads Skin Cream P103. Do you love it? What is it? Oh dear, can you not read? Yes, it says skin cream, but I don't exactly know what that entails. Oh, you see, one massages skin cream into one's skin. Yes, I understand that, Boots, but whose is this? Where do you find it?
Well, it's yours now, human.
I roll my eyes and further inspect the tub. It's very small and plain, with no cosmetic logo or name to be found. I pop open the plastic lid, and sure enough, it's full to the brim with goop. I scoop some out with my index finger and smell it. It smells disgusting, like bin juice or something. Boots, I can't put this on my skin, I'll attract all sorts of bugs and wildlife. Oh, come now, we must suffer for our beauty, mustn't we? What's in this stuff? Booty, where did you get it from? All I ask is you try some on your skin and tell me you don't see instant results. Oh, Snooty, have you been using this stuff? Of course. Without knowing where it's come from? But I know exactly where it's come from. Well then, will you please let me in on the secret? Oh, calm down, human. You will give yourself more wrinkles. Let us take a moment to ponder how my generosity in giving you a thoughtful gift has developed into you interrogating me in such a brutish manner. I take a deep breath. Snooty Booty, I do apologize and thank you sincerely. Of course I am touched by your generosity and consideration. However, I am quite concerned for your welfare. Did you take this thing from the lab? Oh, no, not at all. Thank goodness. I took it from the stockpile behind the lab where the fire pits are. You mean the incinerators? Snooty, did you take this from the toxic waste bins? I have no idea what they're called, but they routinely give forth the most incredible produce. Waste is indeed a fitting word. I think you'll find toxic as the objective word in that title, Snoots. The contents of those bins are meant to be burned. But why are they burning skin cream? I further scrutinize the tub and conclude that it really is some kind of beauty product. This makes no sense. Actually, Princess, this is a fantastic present. I'm going to take it right now for further examination. Thank you so much for this. Well, finally, a little gratitude. I'm very grateful. Well, you can report back to me with how splendid you look after a few applications. Oh, I will, baby. One thing, though, Snooty, just to be clear. Have you been using this? But of course, I wouldn't recommend something without trying it myself first. And no problems? As you can see, human, my skin is as smooth and clear as porcelain. Yes, so why incinerate it? Speak up, human. You're mumbling. Nothing, Snooty. I just need your word that you will not use any more products that you find near the lab again, okay? Oh, I see your game, human. You want to be the fairest of them all, eh? No, that's not it. Very well, human. I shall go au natural for a while, and you will see how, without even a touch of skin cream, I am still as radiant as a scar. Oh, okay, Snooty. Challenge accepted? Indeed. Whew. Yas! New unlocks! Recon 16! I find it amusing. I don't know if you all noticed at the beginning of the game when it was all loading in. This game was actually made by a husband and wife, which I find so curious. It was just like their game development passion project that they had together. Yeah, made by a husband and wife pair. At least I believe so. No. I have more to do. Oh, okay. So it's if you hit the final research. Once you get to the final research, that's when it ends. Okay, that's good to know. So we'll go recon, romance. Okay. I'm worried about the skin cream Snooty found. I'd feel a lot better if I took some time to analyze it. Hey, baby. If my baby, Snooty Booty, found this skin cream out by the incinerator, that raises a lot of questions. Why are there cosmetics here in the first place? I decided to run some tests on it. Snooty Booty developed some nasty welts after using this cream. I want to see what it's made of. I have a feeling this is not something the professor would want me to be poking around in, so I've come to the lab late at night to make sure I don't get any unwanted attention. I'm quickly able to identify a number of common natural skincare elements, like shea butter and chamomile, but there are some other components I can't immediately identify. What else could be in this stuff? I run the sample through the database of organic compounds to see if there are any matches. There are. Cat urine? I had better not share that little discovery with Snooty Booty. I decided to check for any clues out by the incinerators. Maybe I can find out a little more about where these things are coming from. At the back of the tent area, there are a couple of large pits that are for the disposal of harmful waste from the lab. There's nothing incinerating right now, so I can dig around a little in the smoldering ashes. I'm tentatively moving the debris around with a stick. So far it seems to just be soot and cinders, no clues. Suddenly, the silence is disrupted by the sound of someone entering the lab. I make myself scarce by crawling around the far side of a nearby bush. As luck would have it, I happen to have ended up at an ideal vantage point to be able to see into the lab through a gap in the canvas. Two men enter with a large crate. I recognize them as the ferryman and his son, Professor Purrfect, is with them. He directs them to place the crate on the worktop. The professor reaches in and brings out a small tub that looks identical to the one Snooty Booty found. My guess is that this is the next batch in for testing. The professor stops what he's doing abruptly and looks at his catalog. I presume he's receiving a phone call. He dismisses the two men with a wave of his hand. As soon as they've gone, he turns his attention to the catalog. He looks anxious as he speaks.
Yes, they've just been delivered. I shall make a start first thing tomorrow morning. Yes, madame. I certainly will, madame.
With all due respect, I do understand the urgency, but I'm sure you understand the need for thoroughness.
I can assure you that it will be ready for the deadline.
Testing on sample 104 is going far more smoothly than 103. The improvements are very encouraging. There's a long silence. From the expression on his face, I imagine he's being lectured. It is very important to cross-check with the data here. The island itself has a significant effect on the samples. We still have some tests left to do. We are making progress, of course. I shall let you know straight away. The call ends abruptly. Presumably Madame cut him off. He looks angrier than I've ever seen him. He marches out of the lab and heads off in the direction of his tent. I sneak away from the bushes and head back to my own tent. I can continue with my investigations another time.
Also, Loaf, it's worth mentioning that yesterday I watched the worst movie I've seen this year. So no matter how much I hate this, it is in no way the worst piece of media I've seen this week. Nice.
You had a lovely nap and wake up feeling revitalized. Your energy has been restored. Magic!
Alright, we'll do the last romance, and then we've got a research one to do.
While the delicacy of a moment is sometimes only matched by the beauty of the moonlight's reflection on the sea. My baby Snooty Booty turns her big, shining silver eyes up to meet mine. Human, I've lived a long life, and only the first of 9, don't you know? It has been much the same for as far back as my fragile memory reaches. Seeing the moon reflected on the sea would once mean only that I had stayed awake too long, and that I shall see the same shade of grey reflected in the circles under my eyes the next day. However, seeing how you conduct yourself, human, with the grace of a drunken fruit fly and yet the confidence of a red-bottomed mandrill, has left me quite inspired. You do not care one bit about how you look. I subtly try to comb my hair with my fingers as Snooty Booty turns her attention back to the moon. I have found since meeting you that when one cares less about one's appearance, one finds the capacity to care more about other things. Is that so, Boots? Quite so, human. Indeed, I found it rather freeing to bathe in salt water, something which not long ago would have caused me to turn grey with anxiety. In the same way, I feel I am owed some thanks for teaching you a thing or two about proper skincare. Snooty, your demand that I use a night cream caused me to break out in hives. But once they subsided, you were left with a very healthy glow. I sigh. Sunia? Yes, Snooty Booty? There's a poem I half remember. The words have become irrelevant, but the sentiment is so enduring that it is almost enough to cause me to weep at the thought of it. Music is also like that, don't you find? And smell. All of the senses, in fact, are the palette that colors our experiences and leaves an indelible mark on the soul. That's beautiful. Human, I believe both you and I are both aesthetics. Alright? We share an artist's appreciation of the séduction.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce that word.
And again, what? Really, do try to keep up. I can tell I'm somewhat spoiling a mood here, so I keep my mouth shut and try and look engaged. I have suffered on this godforsaken island for the lack of many things, but nothing has been quite matched as the pain of feeling alone. Not having a companion to share the more delicate sensibilities that life has to offer. An alluring scent, a vibrant hue, an Epicurean delight. All the subtle joys that are wasted on our more uncivilized cohabitants. It has been like air to my suffocation, sharing time with you, human. By snoots, thank you. I enjoy our time together too. And also, she plows on as though I am an interruption. I feel that together, you and I might create something rather wonderful. Oh? A masterpiece. Oh, right. A masterpiece. Out of what, baby? Out of us, human. A union. A joining together of souls. Don't say it. Don't say it. I don't know, baby. A marriage of heart and minds. You see what I think you're saying, baby? I am saying that I am fond of you, enough to give me cause to believe that we might be able to commit to each other in the time-honored tradition of love, human. Oh wow, baby. I love you too. Well, I'm amazed. What you're saying is more than I ever could have hoped for. So it is agreed then, human. You shall dote on me as my equal from now on? Absolutely. I'm 100% about the doting. Duty will certainly keep that part of this agreement. I'm a little more suspicious about the equal part somehow, but as we sit together, admiring the huge orange moon, I feel quite confident that she will learn with time and a patient teacher.
So there we go. The first domino falls or some bullshit like that. Oh my god. Oh dear. Easy. Light work for me. While we're fucking at it, let's do this pirate bullshit.
I've made my way down to the part of the beach where Murphy told me the shipwrecks were. I've looked for clues as to what happened here in case it's useful to my work on the antidote. I don't really know what I'm looking for. I feel a bit like a kid with my bucket and spade digging in the sand.
Having fun.
The voice startles me. It's unfamiliar and I can't see who it belongs to, so I'm on my guard. Who's that? Show yourself.
I have nothing to hide, but I am naturally aware of your intentions. Will you give me your word of honor that you mean me no harm?
Yes. You have my word of honor. I feel like a Cub Scout.
I take you at your word, and I'm happy to make your acquaintance. Captain Cord.
A tall, sleek grey cat has stepped from behind the wreckage and is bowing in front of me. I feel obliged to bow back at him. I'm pleased to meet you, Captain. Do you live here? In the wreckage, I mean?
I think I live elsewhere, but I've been here for a long time. I'm trying to find my crew.
I realize he's wearing a vintage naval uniform. I'm not an expert on military history, but I'd guess it's from the 1800s. Ah, Captain, did you arrive on one of these ships?
Yes, I captained the Kitty's Desire.
But I fear I let my men down. Where are they? I have been searching. He seems quite disoriented. What happened? Looks like you've had a bit of a run-in.
Run-in my eye. Maliciously set upon and attacked, more like. This disgrace of a vessel is a pirate ship.
Why do we have so many new characters?
Be careful who you're calling names, Kun. They might just take umbrage, and then the cat will really have got their tongue.
Another cat has appeared. A petite, long-haired tabby, also dressed in some kind of costume.
Identify yourself, stranger.
The new cat has turned to me.
Hello, my name's Sunia, and this is Captain.
I know who he is. What are you doing in my domain, Sunia? State your business.
I was just digging around, not sure what for. I certainly didn't know it's your domain.
It's not. This is unclaimed land as of yet. I dispute that the ownership belongs to this rogue and cutthroat.
Hang on. Let's not get overexcited. What's a rogue? That's not a nice thing to say to about a fellow cat.
Don't put me in the same sentence as that mercenary ne'er-do-well. She's a pirate. Calm yourself, Cordy. Right now, I'm more interested in what this human is digging for.
I need to come up with a better voice for the tabby. Hold on.
Right now, I'm more interested in what this human is digging for.
I don't know why, but I feel like every time I do too much voice acting, I get hella congested.
Ugh. Brutal.
What the fuck is going on with my... Hold up. Something weird's going on with the ears. I think we're back. That was weird.
Oh, nothing in particular. Are you really a pirate?
I refuse to discuss my business in the company of this pompous goody two-parts. If you wish to speak to me, you'll need to see me alone.
And off she walked with her tail in the air.
Thank goodness that vermin has left us. However, she does make a point. If you wish to discover what really happened here, you are going to have to make a choice. Her story or mine.
Oh, I actually don't know what happens here. Let's go see Captain Libby's story. Without even answering Captain Corn, I turned to chase after the long-haired tabby. A real-life pirate who would pass up the opportunity to interview a swashbuckling freebooter.
Excuse me, Miss Pirate. As we reach the forest, the cat stops in her tracks and turns to face me.
I need to get the voice back.
Hey, baby. She straightens herself up onto her hind legs and takes an elaborate bow.
Lady Elizabeth H. Rutherford.
I'm just gonna give her a really posh accent. We're gonna go with that.
I'm taken aback by a sudden transformation from savage to lady. My subordinates call me Captain. My buckos call me Libby. She returns to all fours.
Are these more dateable characters? Thankfully, no. I don't think my voice could take it. Hold on, what the fuck is happening? Oh, hold up, y'all. My nose is kind of bleeding for some reason. I'm gonna need y'all to wait. Give me just a second. I'll be back. Oh my god. Y'all. I swear to God. This game is trying to kill me. What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Alright, we're good for now, but I've jammed a bit of tissue into my nose so that it stops, just to help it clot up a little bit, but like, that was literally just, it spontaneously started bleeding. And like, pretty bad too. Like, in the time I was gone, my nose managed to soak through an entire piece of tissue. Ugh. Sorry, perhaps that's a bit more information than you all need, but I'm just trying to illustrate the point. This game is actually trying to kill me. Like, I've like full on got lightheaded and everything. This game will be the death of me. It's been cursed, I tell you, cursed. Music is kind of jamming, yeah. Alright. Hey, baby. Pleased to meet you. It truly is an honor. Enough with the nice talk, human. You want to hear my story? Well, you best sit down. It's not for the faint-hearted. I do as I'm told and sit on the muddy ground. I suppose the first thing you'll want to know is how a refined young lady of noble birth became a buccaneer with such a fearsome reputation. I want to hear everything. That is, if you're happy to tell me. It will make a change talking to anyone other than that old windbag. Captain Corn? The very same. It was the likes of him that my poor brave mother escaped. It was the likes of him that my poor brave mother escaped from, with a babe in arms and only the clothes on her back. She threw her lot in with a picaroon rather than stay in their cheating, cowardly world. A picaroon? A pirate. Not just any old pirate, mind you. My father was the wiliest sea-wolf of them all, feared and respected and loved. Your father was? I call him that because he raised me as his own. My mother brought me to him when I was not yet a year old, and he took me in without question because of his love for her. Never once did he treat me as any less than as if I was his natural child. I never knew my blood father, but I heard enough to know he was the cruelest, meanest beast, worse by far than any I've danced with on account. He was the peer of the realm and was on Daddy's purse strings payroll for getting bills passed that really should have had more scrutiny. They were a law unto themselves, those men, hornswogglers, the lot of them. But I digress. My father brought me up as a water rat, proper. By the time I was 10, there was nothing I didn't know about sailing. By 16, I was running my own ship. My own ship, the Catfish, and taking men on no prey, no pay runs. I was good, if I do say so myself, and I gained a reputation for bringing home the bounty. I had ambitions too. I dreamed of being as rich as Daddy Purse Strings himself before my 21st. So how'd you up here, Captain? How'd you end up here, Captain? We'd been going through a lean patch, not just us, it was the same all over. The men were hungry and worse still, thirsty. You can't deprive a pirate of his grog for long without a mutiny rumbling through the ranks. When one of my boys put forward the proposal that we try our luck taking on the Desire, a kitty fisher merchant ship, my first reaction was to stonewall. Normally we wouldn't touch a fisher. They're too well rigged, too well armed, so you can't outrun them and you can't outpower them. However, desperate times call for desperate measures, and I decided to think it through a bit more. Fishers are big and strong, but their captains are clueless as soon as they go off their designated route. Get them out in open water and their loss is lapsed. That's the trouble with rich folk. They can afford the best vessels, but they don't know how to sail them. Now, I ain't got no problems with Daddy personally, in spite of the company he keeps, but his ships are well stocked. And my men were starving, so it seemed only fair that we take the fat and give to the lean. Take from the fat and give to the lean. I put my hand up in the air to signify I have a question. Captain Livy gives me an exasperated look. What are you waving at? Sorry, but you keep mentioning a daddy. Who is he? Who is Daddy Purrstring? God's only the fastest cat of them all. That landlubber had the coin to change the world, and what does he do? He invests in creams and powders. He was a cosmetics tycoon. He was an old fool with too much money and not enough sense. Do you want to sit around and talk about things that don't matter, or do you want to hear the rest of my story? I'm sorry. Yes, please continue. So, me and Jim, that's my cabin lad, drew up charts and made a plan. The idea was to track the Desire from a safe distance without being spotted. When we reached the midway point, furthest from land either way, tried to badger her into leaving her path. We used these tactics many times, tire them out, then start pushing off course. If weather turns bad, so much the better for us. The gods really were on our side on raid day. The height of summer should have meant calm seas all the way, but no. Thick black clouds zoomed over us, darkening by the minute. By the time we were chasing the Desire, I could barely see my own hand in front of my face. I realized the storm had now become our enemy too. The life on the seas has taught me well about weather, but this was something else. The sea raged, the lightning flashed, and we knew our vessel could not take this battering. The only way for any of us to survive would be to abandon the catfish and call a truce with the merchants. We had to board the Desire. We downed our weapons and raised our arms above our heads. But out comes that coward corn, musket raised, ready to blow us all away. He knew he was surrendering. But he came at us anyway. He knew we were surrendering, but he came at us anyway. His arrogance scuttled us all, his crew as well as mine, and in the ensuing rumpus, we all faced Davy Jones' lock. I don't know what happened next. I woke up on land with no idea how long I'd been there, but it didn't take long to see that we'd gone from one bad situation to a far worse one. We managed somehow to work together, us and the Toffs, to get as many men out as possible. Just get as many men as possible out of the water and onto dry land. We salvaged all we could and made our camps as we saw fit. Them on higher ground, us by the water's edge on the beach here. What does the stats block do? Oh, that's just... okay. No pirate wants to be too far away from the sea for long. Not that it helped us in the end. This place was cursed. There were things that weren't right. Do you mean the cats? They were starving, the men. They tried to hunt, but there was nothing here. We never saw a bird or bear or any kind of beast other than the cats. I tried my best to keep them from the inevitable. I foraged around and made all manner of stews and soups from the plants and tubers I gathered, but they became obsessed with meat. All I could do in the end was watch in horror as the nightmare engulfed us all. Only a few of us didn't succumb. Wouldn't take part in the savagery, but even so, we weren't spared. All it took was one scratch, one small swipe of the claw, and then the change began. As the sun shines on her tiny cat face, it glistens, and I can see she's crying. I'm not sure how to handle this. Ought I comfort her? She is a fearless pirate after all, even though right now she looks like a little lost cat. I'm sorry for what happened to you and your crew, Captain. I'm working very hard to put things right. Be patient, I give you my word that all will be restored to how it should be. I need to go. She is sulking into the forest, but before she disappears, she half turns. Libby. You can call me Libby.
Oh, we just got an achievement. What the fuck? We got an achievement for finishing the pirate sub-story. Cool, I fucking guess. Goddamn. Holy yap indeed. I thought I had, but I think what might have happened, CD, is I might have chosen to talk with the other guy last time. I feel like that's what happened. So maybe you get one achievement for one and one achievement for the other? Or maybe you have to do multiple playthroughs of it and see both. I don't know. It's apparently a rare achievement. Only 8.4% of people have got it. But then again, quite a few of the achievements on this one are rare achievements.
Alright, but now we do our final research session, and we see what happens. You all may notice that we've mostly finished all of this stuff that we have available to us, and the antidote is only at a cool 15.3%. The achievement to boot up the game would be like 20%. Let's see, actually. What is the completion rate on the easiest? Yeah, here we go. Successfully complete the induction is 46.2. Ah, that's right, CD percent. Though admittedly, only 30% of players got to the end of chapter 1, and only 20 to the end of chapter 2. Alright, research time. Let's do it. Today I'm in the... Hey, baby. Today I'm in the lab doing floor research. It's not the most exciting job, but if I keep my head down, I can get through it quickly enough. It really just consists of unpacking the new samples of plants and flowers that the professor and I have collected on our foraging expeditions, and logging them into the database of organic substances on the computer. Most of them are commonplace plants that grow abundantly in the forest, but occasionally we come across something more rare. Exotic, even. One of the samples I'm looking at today is Calendula incana maritima, which is very interesting indeed. I can't help speculating that it's been cultivated in the Marigold's little greenhouse and then transplanted to open ground. I'm distracted momentarily by the sound of clinking glass, and I turn to see the beautifully manicured paw of a sphinx cat tapping on a beaker, nudging it perilously close to the edge of the counter. Hey, baby, stop that. You're not supposed to be in here. She laughs as though I've told a joke. That's a frightfully pretty flower, Calendula incana maritima, if I'm not mistaken. You never cease to amaze me, Boots. How on earth did you know that? Why, I make it my business to know all about rare and valuable works of art. Art? Why not? It has been created like a sculpture or painting. The marigolds are true artists in the garden. I wondered if they had something to do with this. It's so unusual, even in its natural swampy habitat. But to have it growing here in the forest is very out of the ordinary. Yes, its properties are extraordinary too, human. Well, I'm quite new to botanical science, so I probably don't know half of it. Why don't you fill me in? Although I'm always happy to facilitate your learning, human, I simply can't stay here a moment longer. The air is so stale, don't you find? I ignore her sideways glance and upturned nose. Let's go to the beach and drink some coconut water, and I'll tell you everything you need to know. Snoots, Baby, I'm not going anywhere until I finish this. Don't be ridiculous. You can tinker about in here anytime, but the sun will be gone in an hour or two. I'm not tinkering. This is my job. If I don't get it done, the professor will want to know why. Then explain to him that you had better things to do. Snooty Booty, I won't tell you again. If he catches you, Papa will cage you. Be careful with that flower, human. It doesn't do to inhale that fragrance too deeply. What? I turn to ask why and see her flounce out, knocking the beaker with a swish of her tail as she does. You did that on purpose! But my baby's gone, leaving me to clear up the broken glass. It might be months of bad luck, but what if it's just broken glass? I've come to the forest to gather my thoughts. This morning I noticed another change in my appearance. Up until now, it's been easy to cover up my transition. I just had to keep on top of removing the excess body hair. Even the stub of a tail that appeared a few days ago hasn't been a problem. Would see it. But this new development is definitely a turning point. How am I going to explain the fact that my pupils have turned into vertical slits?
I can't risk anyone seeing me like this, so I'm going to hide out for a while and see what happens.
Remember that stream title, Pardon Her Delay, She's Navigating, and how I only got it 2 months later? Well, it happened again.
Here, spread it here. The shade is perfect. My baby is indicating a small spot in the sand beneath a large palm tree for our midday nap. Let me get to spread the old blanket I've been dragging behind me. It's the one I used to have on my bunk when I lived in a tent. That memory is beginning to fade a little around the edges. I still recall how conflicted I felt, though. I knew I wanted to be with Snooty, but I had a strong urge to keep working on the antidote. Eventually, the decision was made for me. I found it too difficult to remember things in the lab. I kept making mistakes. Then I just sort of allowed myself to sink into my transition. It was quite gentle, and the reward was worth any problems. Yes, this bit of shade is perfect, just like you. But really, Snoots, I don't know why you need this old thing. The sand is so soft and warm. Also, it creeps me out a bit. It reminds me. For goodness sake, Sunia, you've been a cat for 5 minutes, and do you know what's best for us? May I remind you that you have fur to protect your skin, but mine is exposed and far more delicate.
I re-listened to Loss of Life a week ago. I don't know why. I didn't know that the stream title Sisyphean Daily Life was a reference. Yeah, that's a Nothing Changes reference. I really liked that one. I was proud of that.
I suppress a giggle.
God, my nose is definitely still bleeding. I mean, it's not like the tissue's doing a good enough job of like it not spilling out, but it's definitely still bleeding.
Yes, of course, my love. You have skin like the wings of a butterfly. Yes, and I have no idea why that amuses you so. I'm just happy. You make me happy. Well, you could make me very happy right now. Name it. There's nothing I wouldn't do for you. You really ought to be more mindful with those rash declarations. I mean it. Just name it. Anything. Well, fortunately, I have a very kind and humble nature, so I shan't take advantage of your simplicity. All I want is you to fan me with a palm leaf. I'll look around for one I can comfortably curl my tail around. This isn't nearly as easy as it used to be, but practice makes perfect, my dear. We settle down in the peace and quiet of the afternoon, me gently wafting the palm leaf over a snoozing Snoots.
We turn into a cat, and we're dating a cat. It's all very simple, I say, Weeb. I'll explain more thoroughly in a moment. Don't worry. I'll explain more thoroughly in a moment.
How much more blissful could life be? I'm half tempted to warn the new research assistant to just throw in a towel from the start and join us. But I suppose they have their own journey's end. I'm so glad I found mine.
And there it is. The end of chapter 1. Relationship status in the relationship with Snooty Booty. Successful dates 3. Ending achieved, Frisian. Research completed. Recon completed. Dates completed. All try in progress. 20.3% of the total game seen. 2 of 18 endings, 2 secrets. To be fair, all time progress, that's only because I didn't like fully clear my save data from last time. So current playthrough is what we want to pay attention to. We got all of the research, all of the recon, all of the romance, and all of the... I think we got maximum antidote complete, because we're at like 1/6 basically right now. Alright, continue. So, you may notice we now return to the character select screen, with our old little friend here, conspicuously absent. So, what has happened here, essentially... is that each of these people who we thought was just like a skin or something for the default protagonist is in fact their own person and will become the research the research candidate in turn. So yes, that gives rise to the basic gameplay loop of Purrfect Date. you pick your research assistant, you give him a name, you head out to the island, you get catnapped and get bitten by one of the elder cats. The cat illness slowly starts to take hold of you, and all the while you do the you start researching the antidote. Now, you may note that we only got up to 16.7% the first time. That is because, wouldn't you know it, we will be able to continue the research of the previous research candidate with each new character. So, with each character, you go in, you do the research, you do your recon, you date the cat, of course. What else would you do on this island? And through it all, you slowly complete the antidote research over the course of multiple characters, which I actually think is kind of a fascinating little core gameplay loop for this game. And so what I'm thinking we'll do right now is play the intro sequence to the next character and then call it quits for the night. So with that in mind, who shall we pick next? Who shall be our next victim? Who should the next victim of our tomfoolery be? I also will say, just go in order. Okay. Works for me. All right, anybody want to suggest a name? All right, we'll go with Suni. Ha, yes, Azuiab. That game. I can't do all Suni Suzuki, but we will do the Suni spelling.
I'm finally here. So this is the infamous Cat Island, the place I will call home for the next 2 months. When I initially received a letter saying I'd been placed on a reserves list for the job, I thought that was probably some kind of way of saying no thanks and put it out of my mind. So imagine my surprise when sometime later I got a call saying there was an opening for me. Should I still be interested? I have a sudden pang of nerves that it's all a dream, and rummage through my bag until I find the proof that puts my mind at ease.
Dear Suni, we are pleased to be able to offer you the position of research assistant to Professor Purrfect at our research facility on Cat Island. The position will be for an initial period of 8 weeks. Your contract will be sent separately. We look forward to working with you. Yours sincerely, Professor Purrfect.
No mistake. That's my name, right there in the top left-hand corner. And there's his name at the bottom, the genius behind this whole operation, Professor Purrfect. The ferryman comes out from behind the steering wheel and shouts rather brusquely.
Take all your belongings. We won't be back for days, so don't leave nothing you'll need.
Thanks, Skipper. He totally ignores me, and that's okay. I get it, I'm kind of an ignorable gal myself. So I pick up my bags and disembark. A beefy-looking man who I presume is island security is waiting for me on the jetty. Hello.
Tony Lazzuto needs your ID card.
Oh, of course. I reach into my back pocket and show the laminated card I was given on the mainland. Curiously enough, my ID card was issued in March. I wonder whose was issued in January. He barely looks at it before striding off, grunting over his shoulder.
This way.
I follow him down a dirt track path and get my first proper view of the island. It's beautiful. After no more than a couple minutes trekking, we're in base camp, which is modest but functional. It's a bit like glamping, really.
Here.
He stopped at the largest of the tents, indicating that I should go inside. As I enter, the professor looks up from his paperwork.
Come in, come in. You must be Suni. Delighted to have you on board.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to meet you. You must be exhausted after your long journey. Let me offer you some refreshment. Water, coffee, something stronger, perhaps a little whiskey.
I just feel like water's the answer here.
Just some water would be great, if you have some. Now that's something I have an abundance of. There are plenty of safe natural springs on the island, but we have the bottled kind too. I'm relieved he passes me a bottle of water. I'm not too keen to start drinking from natural water sources until I personally check that they're not used as cat urinals. I don't expect you'll begin work until tomorrow, so I'll just give you your kit and some basic instructions and leave you to relax for the rest of the evening. Thank you, sir. That sounds great. Okay, so first things first. This is your basic kit. He goes over the pile of tools and equipment, explaining each one of them in turn. It's all standard stuff until... And this is your catalog. He holds up something that looks a lot like a mobile phone. Catalog? Yes, it was initially designed to record and store data on the cats, but we've come a long way since then. There's even a chipping pen that comes with it to tag cats, so that we can keep track of them. It's an extremely valuable piece of equipment, Suni, and cannot be easily replaced, so I need you to guard it with your life if need be. I think he's joking at first, but he looks so intense that I decide to take him seriously. Yes, sir! Of course I will. Good. And you'll get to know all the functions as you go along, but for now I suggest we take a stroll out, see if we can't find a few cats that you can try it out on. So I spend the next hour scanning cats under the watchful eye of the professor.
I don't know why, but I just really went in with the country bumpkin voice for her. Like, it just felt right. I don't know how else to describe it. And you may have also noticed something else about this, which I quite appreciate, which is that they kind of abridge this intro sequence when you start up a new character.
As I unpack and settle into my tent, I notice something odd. A little dugout under my bed. I reach in and pull out an unexpected find. The personal journal of the previous research assistant, the one before me. They must have forgotten it or left it behind. It's an absolute goldmine of information. It's going to get me up to speed with how it all works around here in no time. However, it seems something else was happening here on the island. Something that was troubling them. I get the feeling there's far more going on here than the professor would let me know. In spite of my increasing tiredness, I continue to read, and the journal gets weirder and weirder, to the point where I'm not sure if whether I'm still reading or if I've dozed off and am now dreaming of talking cats and kidnappings. Eventually, I lose the battle and drift into a deep sleep. I wake with a start. It takes me a moment to get my brain into gear. I can hear a scratching sound and the rustling of a paper from the tent flap. It's a cat with something in its mouth. Suddenly, I'm wide awake. No! It has the journal! Wait! But it has disappeared into the night. Before I know it, I'm out in the cold of night chasing it, running with all my might. I must get that book back. It has everything I need to know in it. Barefoot, dressed in only a t-shirt and shorts, running at full speeds into the forest into the dark of night. This is familiar. I know. I've read this in the journal. Something similar happened to the previous assistant. Yet here I am, falling for the same trap. I must be crazy. I slow to a stop, thinking I'm gonna be sick. I realize, of course, I'm close to the danger zone. Everything goes black and I fall to the ground. I open my eyes. Calico cat, one that I scanned yesterday, is standing in front of me. She drops the journal from her mouth. And I pass out.
And look who's here.
Oh ho ho! Now who might that be off to the left?
Hello? I say, can you hear me?
Are you okay?
Here we go again.
Hold on. Hold on!
Move back a bit. Let him breathe.
Has it been bitten?
The Sphinx cat is standing over me, staring as I open my eyes.
It's definitely bitten. Look at its hand.
I bring my hand up to my face, and through blurry vision I can make out several deep scratches and puncture marks. The cats watch me intently. Is this real? I've read something in the journal about kidnapping.
Catnapping. Yeah.
We're sorry. It's the only way. You stole the journal! Oh, but I gave it back to you. But why'd you take it?
To lure you out here, sucker.
There's no need for rudeness, Kibble.
My head has begun to clear, and I realize that if I can talk to these cats, not only is it all true, but it's already too late. I have the sickness. We need to have a talk, human. No, we don't. I know what's going on here. I read all about it from your last victim.
Hold on. No! No! Hold on. I deleted it. I deleted it accidentally. Bring it back. Bring it back. Recover recording. Okay, we're good.
But lately, cats have been disappearing almost every day. Now, Kara, that's not very nice. We prefer to think of you as our champion and friend. Mick Murphy, you silver-tongued Irish charmer. My reputation goes before me. Oh, I know who you all are for the journal, so let's cut to the chase here.
We just did that, dummy.
You know what I mean. What happens now? Keep reading the notes. That'll tell you all we know so far. Hang on, who are you? You're not mentioned in the journal. You figure it out. It's not my problem anymore. The new cats thinks off in the forest area.
Oh, don't worry about them. They're preoccupied elsewhere. With me.
So what do you say? Are you gonna help us or not?
Suppose my fate is already sealed. I may as well do my best to help you sort this mess out.
Hold on. I get like 2 lines.
But lately, cats have been disappearing all over the land.
Well, let's hope this one's better than the last one.
I thought the last one was pretty good, actually.
Unfortunately, they didn't get very far with discovering an antidote of what happened to our friends. My catalog starts beeping. Oh, my alarm! I have to get to work. Go! And thanks from all of us. I make it back to the lab fairly quickly, considering how little sleep I've had. I wonder if that's one of the effects of the feline transition. I imagine my agility levels will change. I'm strangely excited about getting to work on the antidote. It's the sort of challenge I love. I'm just about to enter the lab to begin my legitimate work when the catalog beeps a message without any contact information.
Some things are best kept to oneself.
Ominous! I don't have the time to work this puzzle out right now, though. I'm already going to be late for work if I don't get a move on. The professor's already working when I arrive, but miraculously, I'm not late. Unlike that bitch from last time. So there's no fuss. I get through the day as efficiently as possible and head back to my tent as soon as my work is done. I want to get a grips with finding out all I can as soon as possible.
All right. And now that we've done the intro section, I believe that takes us very cleanly to the end of our first session. Admittedly, I was kind of hoping to get through 2 of the assistants each day, but I did forget, number 1, the intro sequence is always longer than I remember it being. And number 2, voice acting all of this just makes it take longer. So, here's what I'm thinking. I might revise my plan and have this be like a 4-week series instead of a 3-week series. That'll push it a little bit into my school year, unfortunately, but hopefully that's fine before the semester gets up and cranking too much. Hopefully I have made this game seem fun and enjoyable, because in spite of its inherent fucking ridiculousness, I do actually quite enjoy this game unironically quite a bit. I think the mystery at its core is rather interesting. And I don't know. I think the dating stuff is actually, it's very whack. I do understand that. But I do find the characters themselves endearing enough. So I think they do a pretty good job carrying the game in spite of that. I'm glad to hear that, CD. I'm very glad to hear that. But yes, after all this time, we are back with Purrfect Date, and I have every intention of finishing what I started. No game left unfinished, except for Genshin Impact. I'm probably not going back to that one. Almost definitely not going back to that one. But yes, that was the beginning of our Purrfect Date playthrough. We'll keep this going for a few more weeks. It'll be our final summer mini-series. And then I'll be cutting back to 3 streams a week for a little while. Yeah. Ooh, this has very little to do with stream schedule or anything. Does this mean you'll finish the entirety of Breath of the Wild? Maybe. I kind of forgot about that one, I'm not gonna lie, but maybe we'll go back to that. At the very least, at the moment, I am not in the market for another game as long as Breath of the Wild. But maybe someday. Yeah, before I forget, just a little interjection real quick. CD, this one's for you. I listened to Ants from Up There today, all the way through the entire album. And I gotta say, it was pretty gas. Honestly, I think my favorite part of the album was the final 3 songs. Obviously, Place Where He Inserted the Blade, but then Snow Globes and Basketball Shoes went really hard too. Everyone says that? Okay. Yeah, the ending of that album goes really... I have to ask, though, because I swear to fucking God, this motherfucker was yapping about the Billie Eilish fit at least a couple times. Hold on. I swear to God. I swear to God I heard this guy talking about, like, Billie Eilish clothes at some point. Maybe I, like, completely fucking imagined it. Maybe I, like, genuinely fucking imagined it. No, here it is! She had Billie Eilish style! There it is! That line had me cracking up, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, yes. I will update, I will give more thorough opinions after I've listened to it more. But I literally went on like an hour-long walk and listened to the whole thing all the way through today. Like I was like walking by like this canal trail the whole time. It was really fun. It was a vibe. It was a vibe. But yes, with that said, I had to squeeze in one music tangent today. You all know I had to. Can't get it through the Arcturus stream without a music tangent. But that is gonna do it for me. So once again, to remind everyone of the stream schedule, I'll see you all on Sunday for Persona 3. Probably, hopefully, D&D on Monday. Should be another Celeste stream on Wednesday, and there should be another Purrfect Date stream on Friday. And while I'm at it, probably another Persona stream the following Sunday. Purrfect Date, as I said, will probably go for about 4 weeks at this point. I'm hoping it doesn't take too much longer than that, at which point I will back off to 3 streams a week for my school semester. Those 3 will be Persona 3, D&D, and Celeste. That is until we finish Persona 3, which is getting pretty close. We still got a decent chunk of the game left, but we're getting there. I'd say we're maybe 2/3, 3/4, 2/3, 3/4, somewhere in that ballpark of the way through. Once we are done with that, I will introduce a new game. I don't think it's going to be a super long one. I think I'm going to err on the side of like the 2 I'm most strongly considering right now are either Blueprints or Yakuza 1. So stay tuned for that. That's still several months out though, so that's not super imminent. That being said though, I want to thank everyone who dropped by tonight. It was a fun one. I very much enjoyed myself, and I hope you all did too. Thank you for stopping by, Aze, Weeb, Amy, and CD. Y'all are much appreciated. But with that, I'm going to bid you all adieu, and I will see you all next time. Ciao!